And as always, huge shout out to all of our supporters over at patreon.com/878survivorfm, to all of our editors. Thank you so much. Our production managers, Big Dog, Shane Murphy, Tank Dazza, Hawks Hammer, and Nightkin. Our producers, Jake Snow, Red Freedom, Melbourne, Tuxness, and Michael. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the DayZ Podcast. Also, all of our YouTube members, Kenny Baker, Mr. Fix, Cinnamon, King of Lobar, and Tuxness. Going off the script here, but without all of your support, we wouldn't be able to do the amazing Christmas episode that we've got coming up on the 18th of December. I hope you're all tuned in. We've got a lot of cool shit to give away, and I'm really looking forward to doing that with you all. I also want to shout out all of the team behind the podcast, as always. The Irish Chad, Marks, turn your webcam on. Lad, it was good to have you here this week, mate. Archie, are you ever going to turn up, Archie? Foxypote, the man, the myth, the legend. DonSibleyGames, the king of TikTok and upsetting the Americans. DanceofJesus, volumetric clouds. Jacob Mango, the DayZ ghost. Daone, I've got something exciting to announce soon with Daone, folks. And Spud from the DayZ Down Under service. Thank you all for your support, and we hope you enjoy the show. Links are in the description. 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome to episode 87 of the DayZ Podcast. Marks, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not so bad today, not so bad. How are you all doing?
Good, mate. I'm good. Lad will be joining us very shortly. He's just having dinner with his mum, and we can never get between a son and his mother. So hats off to him for doing that. That's a pretty sweet thing to fucking do. But we are joined today by, I must also say, Archie sends his apologies, but he is rip-roaring drunk, and he's a wild enough man sober. Drunk, probably the show would be rated X. So, yeah. He said he was going for a nap and then he may see how he feels, but I doubt he's going to turn up. I know better than anyone that once you go for a nap, that's it. You're fucking out when you're drunk as a skunk, but yeah.
Yeah, we've docked him $70,000 in his pay, so he won't be getting that for this show.
But we are joined this week by Tyson. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, glad to be here.
Thank you for coming, mate. Thank you for coming. Mate, you have made quite an impact on the DayZ modding community, especially of late. But you've got quite an extensive catalogue of things you've done for the community in the past, mate.
Well, thanks. I didn't know that I made a big impact, but...
No, yeah. Mate, you have. Some of them are fairly niche, like the Beehive Mod. That's more for your PvE survival-y sort of servers. I don't think too many PvP servers are going to be sticking that on there. But yeah, like Hunter just said in chat, mate, one of the most productive modders I know.
No, he is.
Mate, there's so many of you. Who are just doing massive things, isn't there, Marks? You know, it's giving you plenty of good content, mate.
Yeah, it has, especially recently, anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff out there, which is great to see.
You had the video on the Raft mod?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People really like that as well.
Tell us about that mod, Tyson.
For the Raft mod, obviously our credits go mostly to Looker and Hunter. I want to say that before anything else, because my role in the Raft mod was more likely helping a bit out in scripts and stuff. But the base script was from Hunter's unfinished ship mod. And Looker worked on that and enhanced on it and built upon it. And I was mainly there to help him a bit out and for meme support. It's quite successful, the Raft mod. It's in the workshop since, I think, 4 or 5 days. I can't really remember. It's really successful. People really like it. And it's the first mod which is like a boat or something like that, which doesn't need any paid, shady paid mods or expansion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's free to use. So yeah, that's that.
Makes it even better.
We've got some footage of Mark's video in there. You were saying you were cringing the entire time you were watching it because you didn't have the rudder straight.
Yeah. And when Luke and me saw the video, we thought, cool, he made a video about it. And then he said, it's max speed. And then we saw he has the rudder not centered. No, that's not max speed. Because people mainly complain it's not fast enough.
Yep.
Yeah. But he corrected himself after that.
You said you've done some updates to it.
Yeah, Luca actually updated it and added a fishing function, so you can attach an improvised fishing rod to it, and it will automatically fish fishes for you.
only the improvised?
Only improvised, yeah,
Yep.
because it's a bit more immersive than the normal one.
Yep.
So you just simply attach it to it, and then you
can you fish? Can you fish standing up on the raft?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I showcased that in the video as well.
Yep, I haven't didn't get a chance to get around to watching it, so that's a really cool function. Sadly, what we really need is an island map where this would really come into its own element, because it's a great thing to be able to make. But you can sail out into the wide. Okay, here's a question for you. I build the raft. I sail out into the wide blue yonder. And I log off on top of the raft. When I log back in, what's going to happen?
You will technically, I think, you should spawn on top of the raft.
Yep.
If it didn't move, of course. But
yep.
That shouldn't be a problem.
So
I think Luca tried it. I didn't try it myself, but I think Luca tried it and it worked.
That would be damn cool.
Yeah. But same for. But it's still like a vehicle-based thing, so I don't guarantee anything.
What did you think of it, Marks?
Very cool. It was very unique.
Yeah.
Usually, like boat mods we see are like speedboats and these big military things, which are cool. But this was just very more survival, and it gave a great aesthetic to the kind of survival side of DayZ, which seems to be getting more and more popular. So it makes really good.
Oh yeah.
Nice sense to have it.
We'll be talking about
that. We need more survival
soon.
stuff and civilian, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. We definitely need more mods like that.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, DayZ is way too militarized.
Yes.
There's way too much military stuff and not much civilian and survival stuff.
Yep, 100% agree.
But to be fair, they added quite a few stuff for survival and civilian, but yeah, especially for weapons.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, and you know what would be a very, very good for any modders out there that are thinking of a mod to do? Let me just put this suggestion out there. Make a storage mod that is very civilian or kind of... remember, like, Bidey, what you were going to make. Your mod where it was going to be kind of more survival-ish, kind of, where it was like more handmade, something like that.
I still dream of that,
needed.
But that dream's long gone. Maybe one day. When Spotify signed me to a $100 million a year deal over 5 years or something like that, we'll fund that between us. We'll call it the Marks Boydie and Lad storage shit.
Yes,
mod.
Exactly. Be perfect.
And we'll pay all you fucking awesome modders buku salary to do it.
Can I actually mention something quickly?
Sorry, just quickly. You just said a raft race. That would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, that's cool. You had a raft race with it. I hope you did a video of that, Nightkin, because that would be cool. Now, what were you going to say, Marks?
Just something quickly, actually, to RaG while he's here. I don't know if it was just me, but in offline mode, the sailing didn't seem to work for the mod. I don't know if it was messed up on my part or something, but every time I tried to set off sail in offline mode while testing it, it wouldn't work. So I had to swap to a server. That's why I'm in two different characters here, if anybody wondering.
Yeah, you shouldn't use offline mode to test mods. Well, you can for some, but for the most mods which need also the server part, like vehicles, it's not a good idea to test offline.
You know what I think we need to do, Marks?
Yeah.
I think we need
What's
to
that?
just create a podcast server that is a live server. People can be on it, but they've got to be aware that the likes of yourself and fucking maybe a few other trusted people are going to be on there fucking with shit. So you could test stuff in a live environment. You could put your God mode on and, you know, just go crazy and just test shit. And yeah, maybe we need to look at that.
An interesting idea. Yeah, I just run one off my PC at the moment, and that's how I test all my do all my mod showcase videos. This means fishing, by the way, off the boat. I was doing a crouch position, but you can do a standing as well. It's really cool.
Yep. And what else have you been up to, mate?
Well, I mainly do vehicle mods, and I have a new vehicle which I will probably publish in the next days.
Mm-hmm.
I have it since 2 weeks on my servers for testing, and it is pretty much stable.
Can we get a sneak peek of it?
Actually, yeah, if you give me a second, I'm gonna start up my local server.
Yep, and then you can share your screen in Discord, and we can watch that. While you do that, I'll actually go, and it's in the link. It's in the description of this podcast. But you do actually have your own YouTube channel, which you upload infrequently to as well.
Yeah, I upload some stuff, but not everything. I don't really use YouTube and social media that much. Sometimes I just upload it for a small showcase if I want to show some people, but I don't do it like some streamers or like Marks or.
Look, and it's something we've talked about quite a bit on the podcast, isn't it, Marks? That some of the modders, even if they're not great editors, they need to be sharing some of this stuff. Trying to showcase their stuff as best as possible. There's even if they can afford it, there's people out there who will make a video for them. But even if they can't, there's plenty of good videos on YouTube and stuff like that show you the basics of editing. You don't need to go and buy Adobe or anything like that. There's plenty of what's the DaVinci? I think is one of the best ones. The free software with DaVinci is well worth doing, because it just a picture paints 1,000 words. You can have guides and all the rest of it, but some people are like me, and I'm more of a monkey see, monkey do kind of guy. I like a good pictorial guide to talk me through what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. What are we in for?
So that's the Baja bug.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, the model itself was donated by MDZ to me.
Yep.
I can showcase it, but unfortunately 115 broke the exhaust particles. Normally when you over rev it, there will come small flames out here. But since 115 is broken, I already got a fix. I just didn't change it here yet. So I can't show you the flames. Just imagine the flames. I need to. Should be better now. Oh, there they are.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Oh, God. Subgrad's asking how many hours did it take you to make the vehicle?
This one, let me think. I worked on it like 2 or 3 days. So in total, maybe 8 to 10 hours.
Yep.
But it also has a complete working damage system. So, like, here's the engine. The doors have a different damage zone. The radiator, the front, the roof. So all parts that you hit have actual impact to the vehicle.
Yep. I think he said that the model was donated to him, Dumpgra.
Yeah, by MTC.
This is cool. This is cool. Yeah, obviously won't suit every server, but I can see this being quite a... Oh, look at the storage on it.
Yeah, well,
because he's got
the
barrels and
guard
stuff
has-
above. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Guard
Yeah.
has 300, and then you can attach 2 barrels, a camo net.
What's his
because
top
if you
speed?
use- about 200, 210.
Oof. Yeah, Wolves of DayZ just pointed something out. It's an air-cooled engine. It doesn't need a radiator, mate.
Yeah,
That's a true point, yeah. It
Yeah,
would be cool.
I could remove it, but yeah.
I
I'm
really
not a fan
like
of
the-
overwriting stuff though, because DayZ always checks for if it's a vital car radiator, and if I take it out, I mean I could overwrite it so it doesn't check for that, but I'm not a fan of overwriting too much. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically
That's
the
cool,
next
man.
vehicle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
And that's going to be a freely, publicly available mod for everyone to use.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
That's cool.
No,
I
no
like,
Sipnik car.
I like what we were talking about beforehand. I like options, different stuff. And I'm guessing the parts for it are just going to be industrial spawns because there'll be no wrecks of the buggies to be able to spawn the stuff in for you.
Sorry, can you say again for the Rex?
For the parts for the car, like you might find one that needs tires or something like that. I'm guessing that the wheels and stuff like that will be just standard industrial spawns that you'll find.
Oh, the server owner can decide. Yeah, but
Yep.
but normally it's something like small sheds or industrial.
Yep.
For the school bus, I don't have it loaded right here, but for the school bus, I made some RaG model.
Mm-hmm.
So server owners can place them around the map, and the RaG model spawn the school bus parts, like the vanilla truck. RaG spawns the truck parts. A Gunter RaG spawns the Gunter parts, and so the school bus RaG spawns the school bus parts.
I'm just showing the
Basically,
video you've got uploaded of the school bus. I'll turn the...
Yeah,
Actually,
that
haven't
was
seen
one
the
of
school
the
bus.
earlier states.
No, it'd be really cool.
Wait till you hear the engine sound.
Even the sign goes in. That's cool. I like that it has custom sounds.
Yes.
It doesn't sound like an ADA.
Or just a V3S or...
Yeah, it's nice. It would be cool if there was a version of this bus that was like had all the seats in the back of it stripped out, and you had like a portable base, like, you know, the way I always say the V3S is like a really good mobile base. It'd be cool if this could be the same thing, where it had like, you know, the bars inside of it and crates and stuff. Maybe you could pop a tent in there or something like that as well. Don't know how difficult something like that would be to make, but it'd be a really cool idea.
Well, that wouldn't be too much to do, actually.
I think it'd be a cool idea, personally. You know, make it as a base, have so you can attach barrels, and maybe you could attach a tent, you know, where a person could technically sleep or something like that. It'd be cool. And then if you wanted to move it, you could just drive it away, park your base somewhere else.
And what's the top speed of the bus?
Let me think. I can't really. I think it was around about 110.
Yep.
Like max.
That's pretty good.
And Dumpgrass just asked, are all the windows able to be shot out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's actually has. Let me think. I need to watch. Every single window on the school bus has its own damage zone, so you can break every window. It is in total.
I love the lights. I didn't notice that beforehand.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Very well done, mate. Very well done. That's quite impressive.
Thanks.
And then you've got your Beehive one as well.
I just counted 30 damage zones. It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And your the Beehive mod.
The Beehive. At the moment, you can make honey and honey wine. Yeah, you can see it in the video. I just show how to do it.
I like that you have to wear the full kit, because I was on a server and I found a Beehive kit and I set it up and fuck me, did the bees just start stinging me.
Yeah, some people use it as a base protection on PvP servers.
Yeah, because I've said so many times that we need more options for offline base defense. Since they nerfed barbed wire and made it only cut you, people just pretty much ignore barbed wire. It's a waste of a really good item now.
Yeah, and for the testing, I made it so it changes faster for the showcasing, so it fills the honey frames.
Yep.
With honey. Normally it takes about an hour.
What Dumpgrass said, one of the coolest things is I heard you can use alcohol to trade bees. I don't know what he means by that. How would you trade bees for alcohol?
You need to sterilize the honey pot before you can make honey. Maybe he means that. So I tried to make it as immersive as possible. So you can't just take a pot and go there and fill it,
Yep.
So you need to wait until the frames get full from the bees. So they fill it with honey. Then you take that and remove the honey to get honeycombs. Then attach the honeycombs to the pot. And then fill it with water, make honey water. And then you can make honey out of it or honey wine.
Is there a guide that you've made that you can find in-game that will... And kind of comes back to what we were talking about beforehand. Some of these mods are amazing, but if they're too complex, you'll find a lot of people just don't use them. Is there a guide, an idiot's guide to bees or something like that, or, bee farming, whatever it's called, where it basically gives you the hints that you need to know that, someone might attach things and they haven't sterilized the honey pot and they're not sure why they're not getting honey gathering.
Well, I made some recipe and how-to on the workshop page.
Recipes? The workshop page is good, but I had this conversation with Dumpgrab with his metallurgy mod, and that one of the problems for modders is, and this goes into the other thing, adopt a modder that I've always been on about, is people often don't bother going to that page. It's really good if you can actually create an in-game guide. It's an item that a person can find in-game that's part of the central loot economy that talks them through that. I know Dumpgra added something for his metallurgy and mining mod that talks people... Oh,
you mean an actual item?
Yeah, an actual item.
Okay.
That that would be something really good. And if you're not good at designing something like that, I'm sure there's someone out there who would be happy to help you. Because there's so many amazing people in this community, Marks, isn't there, who love being able to help each other out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
actually a
You
good
you
idea,
mean
yeah.
you mean something like an in-game user manual,
Yep.
for example,
Yep.
that you could find, and then I like that. I like that because a lot of people will find this stuff and
Just don't know how to
one
use it.
thing, just don't know how to use it, so they won't go ahead with it. And if it's really complicated, they won't do it. Like I was saying before the show, but obviously, if you're in a PVE server or something like that, you want to be able to grind away at it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, an in-game item would be bloody good idea, actually. Yeah.
And you're right, King Alobar, such an imagination. It's one of the things I love about DayZ. There's people out there who shit on DayZ about how, the base game's too simple and modders are saving the game, but that's always been Bohemia's format. They create a base model of a game and then they allow modders to take it to the next level with creating these amazing fucking things like we just saw, beehiving. Getting honey and then being able to create alcohol from it, and I imagine you can use that alcohol to sterilize. And there's mods out there that add a drunk effect if you drink too much alcohol, and I think that's one of the. I've heard in the past that there's one of the problems with DayZ is the amount of liquids in the files or something, but alcohol is one of them. You can set that as a hey lad.
Did somebody say liquids?
Let me guess. You've got your iron brew.
No, not this time. I just have Coke Zero Cherry because the shop had no more iron brew.
Oh,
darn!
DayZ only allows 32 liquids. There we go. I knew I'd heard that somewhere before. So yeah, max. I might have actually been from Dump Grabber, and he was because he's got something planned. I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, but yeah, something that I've seen some stuff on. I'm not sure if it's implemented yet, but for creating liquids as well. Yeah. No, that's fucking awesome, man. I love the Beehive mod because it's just it adds something else for those who have gotten sick of just raiding bases and PvPing. Yeah.
Yeah. There will also be a bit more stuff in the next update. Creep will work. He's in chat. Hi, Creep.
Yep.
Creep will is doing some model at the moment for me. It's like a natural kind of beehive, like which you can find on trees in the nature.
Yep.
So the plan basically is that people can find normal beehives in the nature and gather honey from them, and then use that again on the beehive itself to make honey or honey wine.
Yep.
That will be the next update, and after that I plan to do some honey candles, which you can then light and...
Yep. Using the wax, I guess.
Right.
That's cool. That's it's little things like that. Just expand that mod so that for those more PvE focused servers, you're giving them lots of good options.
Yes, indubitably.
Now, how can people support you?
Always by a thumbs up in a workshop. It sounds weird, but it actually gives you something as a modder if you see people like your mod.
Yep.
That they also give you a thumbs up and not only like join any server and play it. It's just about a bit of appreciation, and I think I can talk for many modders. Yeah, and of course, the money, PayPal. I also have a donation link. That's also something, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why every time I make a mod video now, I always try, like with the Raft one and with the fortification mod, I always put the mod, then their PayPal or Patreon if they have one, and then whatever else underneath that as well. I always put it in the description. I always pin a comment in the comment section as well, so people can see it. And if they want to donate, then it's all there for them. Easy access.
I'm just sharing the PayPal link now in the relevant chats. If anyone wants to sling him a few bucks, because
thank you.
Sometimes these models, it's great when someone donates a model, but often the modders have to pay for them. And
Yeah.
this is all can be quite expensive at times, can't it, lad?
Yes, it definitely can be quite expensive, especially if you don't really know anybody that does that kind of thing, like the modeling. Then yeah, it can be very, very expensive. But there's always a market for that kind of stuff, which is great for both parties, really, when it gets down to it. It's like, you create something good, and people want to pay for it. Well, then there you fucking go. Or even if you just want to donate to somebody and just be like, hey, here's some cash, do good shit with it, and then it's like, cool, so whatever way works, really. I mean, shit.
I was just going to jokingly do a request for $1,000 for your appearance fee. No, that's awesome, mate. I'm really, 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 really happy for you that some of your mods are getting some good traction at the moment with people. It's always good to see.
I'm happy too. I'm always happy when I see people like it.
Yep.
It drives you in a way to make more or make them even better if you see people like them and also comment,
Yep.
And exactly. Don't just comment like PBO error, fix your shit.
Fix your fucking mod.
Now, if you are a server owner as well, Tyson, like many other modders out there, can be approached for custom work as well. So if you need something that you think is within his skill set, reach out to him. The same as most modders, they're always happy to do commission jobs as well. And he's got a great resume of mods that you can use as an example of whether he's a good modder. Yeah, like the cabin mod that Hunter's just mentioned.
Yeah, can you actually talk about that cabin mod? How does it work and stuff? Because I've always seen it and been always tempted to take a look at it, but I never did. How does it work?
The cabin mod is a story for itself. Actually, I inherited it.
Right.
There were two other people who maintained it in the past. The initial one who made it was his name is Stinkinator. He's the original one. Then he gave it to KillerRaG, who maintained it for I think a year or 1.5, and then he gave it over to me to maintain it further. And yeah, I just didn't want to see the cabin mod get extinct because I really liked it and I used it on my server at that time. And then I talked with KillerRaG and he offered me to take it and maintain it further. So yeah, since then I'm working on it and improving it. It's basically actual cabin which you can place. You need to make a kit, like the small kit you can see there in the picture. And then you can place it, and then you have to attach wooden logs, wooden planks, nails, and stone, so you can build the base, the foundation, then the walls, one after another, then the roof, and you can also build a small well, so you have an unlimited water source in your base.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of that mod. I might have to check it out.
Same concept, basically, for the medieval house. I just like the more medieval Viking style, which is also why I made a Viking pack. And after I got some more experience with the cabin and that base building stuff, I made the medieval house because I just like that style a bit more, the Middle Ages, and it's basically the same idea, just in a different version of it.
I like it. It's cool. Definitely do like it.
Yeah.
I could see the cabin mod being very useful for, again, the PvE servers, maybe the survival servers as well. You want to... There's a lot of really pretty lakes and stuff, especially on the Churners map, that are kind of hidden out the way. They have no houses or anything near them. It'd be nice to get the cabin mod and hopefully be able to place it, next to a lake or a pond or something like that, and be able to have it there then and set up your base. And I really like the idea of it.
Even the medieval one, like you said, it just looks nice. It's got a nice aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
I like that you've got a fireplace inside the cabin as well.
Yeah. In the last update a few days ago, I added a fire cage, which you can place in the middle inside. And you can light it up, so you got a light source in the middle.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. I think I might investigate that cabin mod a bit more, because I was always wanting to make a video on it, but I wasn't 100% sure like how it worked or kind of what way to spin it. But after hearing it now, yeah, I'll do some
It's
research.
pretty much self-explanatory. So once you place the kit, just see the attachments, and then you exactly know what to do.
Yeah,
I love the
like
the ATV as well. I got to use that on DayZ Down Under, and I absolutely love it. It is such a good, fun vehicle for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
the
is very,
ATV
very cool.
was a great success after launching it.
It is very cool. Hopefully, whenever handlebar animations and stuff become available, you'll be able to put handlebars on it instead of the steering wheels. But otherwise than that, they are 10 out of 10.
There was a handlebar on the model, but I removed it.
Yeah, it was a bit janky.
Yeah, it just looks silly.
No,
Yeah,
the steering
they
wheel
can't
does. It's not. I know the snowmobile has a steering wheel as well, but they suit it. They're not like they don't look out of place.
No, I mean I removed the handlebar because it looks silly with the DayZ animation, because he aims like a steering wheel.
I also like the fact that the passenger sits backwards on the ATVs. It's very unnerving being the passenger on the ATV.
It gives you another kick.
And I did die when I flipped one as well.
Yeah, you can't drive those things fast anyway, though.
Oh no, you got to go fast.
Oh, I know you gotta, but it's always going to end in disaster, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
have the fun.
No, mate, I'm really, really happy. You've got some amazing stuff. I'll share a link to your workshop if people want to go and check that stuff out. It'll also be in the description of the video if you're watching it. It's great to see, mate. Great to see this sort of stuff. Anything else you want to share with us?
I got nothing else new at the moment, actually, other
That's
than
fine,
the
mate.
Bajo.
You've got a lot that obviously these things you're not just putting them up and forgetting about them. These are things that you're putting up and continuing to support. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple mods that have seemed to be like, were put up and now have lost support. Like maybe the modder isn't supporting them anymore, stuff like that. And it's sad to see.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're keeping your mods up to date and stuff.
Awesome.
It's actually something that's an interesting topic that came up when fuck, I've just lost it. Sorry, everyone. Last night I went out for the first time for a good old drinky poos, and I am fucking shattered. So, yeah, I'm not drunk. I'm just tired. But talking about modders getting support or stopping support for their mods, it's actually something that it's one of the things that would prevent, say, a new content community map to come to PC and console, like to be part of the vanilla. And it's something that I kept seeing getting posted on the latest community spotlight tweet, because I was tagged in it fantastically, and a lot of stuff was. You got the Archies, yes. And a lot of stuff got posted about, like, why aren't you bringing community maps to console? Console needs new maps and shit like that. And it's like, well, modders do it for a hobby. Some don't do it just to get money. So if Behemoth's like, yeah, we want to put, say, like, Deer Isle on console, then that person who's making Deer Isle will have to then spend time optimizing it further, which is always good, but then they have to send it off to Bohemia to be like, right, this is what it is. Can you check it? Then they have to verify it. Then they have to give them feedback. It was like, okay, this needs to be whatever. And then it needs to go through the verification process with Microsoft and Sony. And then you got to think about finances. It's like, right, if it's going to be a paid one, who gets a cut of what? Like, and people just don't seem to take that in consideration. It's always
no. I'm going to totally disagree with you. They're doing it for Arma. Why can't they do it for DayZ?
Well, not necessarily like, how would I say it? It's, how would I
Money
say
and
it?
resources.
Well, yeah, but it's like, so say for example, they do need to discuss it. Well, Arma isn't on console, true, but DayZ needs to discuss it with the community person who's making the map, and then they need to go to whoever is taking a cut, and then it's like some modders might be like, well, no, that cut's not fucking good enough for me, I want more, and then it'd be like, well, yeah, no, you're not having that, get fucked, or whatever. Plus, there's also the case of many community maps and modders, RaG, you'll know yourself, when you buy a model, you own a particular license to it, right?
Yeah.
To only do so much with it. And most of those licenses don't allow you to sell that model on to another thing.
Right.
So if a community map, for example, was to come out on a console, and then it turns out that half of the assets were bought on CG Trader or something like that, and then it turns out, oh, you're not actually allowed to make money from that, that's going to be a lot of fucking legal issues. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that people need to take into consideration of why community maps aren't coming to consoles. And don't get us wrong, I want mods to become part of vanilla, especially for our console friends, like our console players. You know, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it's all well and good. We're getting patches to like get, you know, essentially build anywhere on there and stuff like that, which is great. But having something like similar to Creation Club like Bethesda has, yes, obviously Behemoth is a much smaller company, but having something like that for a console would be fantastic. A verified modder who creates their own content, that everything they use, they own, and then they can go on from there. And I think that would be a really good step, but whether that'll happen, sorry to like completely detract from what we were talking about earlier, but I just thought, it just triggered. I was like, hang on, I want to quickly say this, and then, you know, but yeah, I'm sorry, my mind's a million miles an hour, but it's just something that's I saw people talk about on Twitter quite a lot, and as a modder, it's, yeah, sure, it's great to get money, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you got to cover your own ass at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think the only way it would happen is, I'm assuming the way the Arma community creators have it, they're using Arma assets, right?
Yeah,
by the looks of it. So like,
yeah.
DayZ would have to have a shit ton of assets made, and then the modders work with those assets instead of third-party assets. That's where the trouble comes in, I think, you know, legally and all the rest of it with that. So if there was a way where they could have suddenly a ton of assets, buildings, cars, whatever, then yes, I could see it happening, but I don't think they have that.
No.
Hopefully down the road. I mean, you never know what DayZ's going like, right? They're getting more funding for bigger development team. They're hiring people, so God knows where it could go. You know, 2022 is looking bright, so
yeah, exactly.
Wait and see.
I mean, just imagine, right? To bring out the Raft mod for console. That would be fucking class.
I'm in chats with someone who's now in the DayZ community who was involved in the Prairie Fire project with Arma. So said I would love to get him on as a guest.
Yes, get him on.
To talk more about it. Because, yes, I understand that there are complexities to it, such as, you know, for console and all the rest of it. But it can't be impossible to do. I would love to hear from DayZ, from Bohemia Interactive, that they are, you know, working. There's so many reputable people out there, you know, that could assemble a team, you know, of some of the more reputable people in the DayZ community to create something for DayZ that could be ported across to console as well eventually. You know. If they ported DayZ across to console, why can't they port a community DLC across to it as well?
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I also have to say that I think there are other things they have to do first, because if they decide to make that and that modders can actually monetize their mods, I think they should first do stuff in the workshop itself and clean up the workshop. Make sure that certain people in the modding community can't do that illegal shit which they are doing right now. I don't want to name anything, but I think most people know who I'm talking about or what people I'm talking about. And that's a huge issue, actually. And that needs to be sorted out first, because if they can't clean up the workshop or get control over the workshop, what's getting posted in there, how could they manage such a thing?
It'd be a nightmare.
I mean, it is an absolute fucking nightmare, like the workshop. Whereas, it's a fantastic source of content, but stuff we're coming out with Inclement Dab, and which I'm not too sure if anyone's seen here, but he got a response from Valve about the DayZ editor experimental coming off. Like it was taken down, and Valve confirmed it was a deletion request. It's Dumbcry.
Yeah, Dumbcry is the man.
Yeah,
him.
I know.
No, Dumbcry is a sexy man.
He's a fucking living lad. But yeah, so it's like, and Valve said, yeah, there was a deletion request. We don't know where from. We're not going to update this ticket anymore. And it's fucked. And it's like, but yeah, you are right, especially about the illegal stuff that's going on. And,
it is a huge
that's
issue.
the thing. It is a huge issue, and it's something
not
that
only
has to get tackled.
It's not only a huge issue for DayZ itself, it's also an issue for other modders. I see it almost daily, because in my case, I mainly do vehicles. I have a lot of vehicles in the workshop, and I also support them in my Discord. So I have it already daily that people join my Discord and say, I have that issue, this is not working. And I always ask them, do you run Nightwolf helicopters? Do you run Psycho Gaming vehicles? And if they say yes, and then I tell them, remove that. Remove it. Don't discuss. Remove that shit. Sorry, I have to say it like that because it is like that. They basically override base scripts and base classes, so you have no chance with your mod to accomplish anything because they override it anyway. But people don't know that. That's a big issue.
Yeah,
that's it, and it's an absolute fucking piss take. Like, I don't know much about the cycle vehicle stuff. I haven't really done my research.
It's the same shit, basically.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of like mods where it's like, right, I've heard bad shit about it. I don't fucking care. Like, they're doing shady shit. Fuck it. They can get fucked, right?
Yeah.
It's the same.
I seriously also don't care about
them.
them. It's just frustrating if you have it almost daily because people still use them and blame you that your stuff is not working because of theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bit what drives me.
Can you backpedal here? Because you guys are having a conversation that I think Marks and I are struggling with. Now,
I haven't heard anything about the psycho stuff.
Yeah, and also you said that these mods overwrite stuff that prevent other legitimate. His mod works.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people have bought Nightwolf's helicopters and they work. But what do you mean by his stuff causes issues with other stuff?
I give you an example. Give me a second. There is a mod called Muppet Fix. That's just one example. It's called like sorry, I didn't make it. I'm just gonna post it. Where should I post?
Just post it in. You can post it in the chat if you want.
And Twitch?
Anywhere, Yep. Twitch, YouTube, or whatever.
Okay. Post it in Twitch and YouTube. It's a mod called Muppet Fix, and it's from Lava. And he made that mod because Psycho vehicles override the camera view, like in the third-person camera. Like when you enter a vehicle and you go in third person, it's the distance which you can define on your car, how much distance it should have, depending on the size of the car. And what they basically do in the case of psycho vehicles, they define their distance for their cars, and after that they override all other classes, base classes, so they are as near as possible, so you can barely see anything. And I also opened their script, and they do that on purpose. They even made comments in their scripts where they write, that's the distance for our vehicles, and that's the distance for all others. So they actually do that on purpose to mess with other mods. And that's where it's not funny anymore,
That's fucked up. That's fucked
Because
up.
not only they charge a good amount of money for it, they also destroy other mods by purpose. I have to say by purpose because it's obviously on purpose. And yeah.
Yeah, so they basically do really scummy shit to. How would you say it? They I wouldn't say they scam, because at the end of the day they do deliver a product, but in the process of delivering that product, they ensure that only their stuff will work properly. And if you have other mods, and they'll just say, well, that's not our responsibility. They broke their mod. It's their problem, not ours. Nothing to do with us. Is that kind of how they go about it?
Could be, yeah.
Right.
Many people don't actually know that Psycho Gaming don't do their vehicles itself. It's basically one person. And
right.
The reason why I started modding actually vehicles is because of that modder. Because he scammed me in the beginning when I started with DayZ. He scammed me. So yeah. And that's basically the reason why I started modding and said, fuck it, I'm gonna do my shit from now on myself. And
pure fucking spite.
Nice. Yeah.
Gotta commend that. Gotta fucking commend that.
Is the Psycho vehicle still up on the workshop today?
It got taken down like 2 or 3 times, but it's up again, yeah.
Let me have a gander. It sounds familiar, so I'm gonna.
I don't think it's on the workshop right now. I looked up Psycho and it's not there, unless it's called another name.
No, it's called Psycho Vehicles.
Psycho Gaming Vehicles.
Oh, no? Psycho Gaming, yeah, could be. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had to see it here. It doesn't have any pictures, though, so they've all their pictures. Huh. Maybe I haven't used it then, I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Why the fuck have I got it downloaded? What the fuck? When did I download it? What?
Lad's secretly a Russian hacker agent. Confirmed.
Bleed.
Sorry if it came a bit harsh across from me, but I just feel like it's
It's one of those things that if more attention isn't raised, then more people can potentially get fucked over one way or the other.
See, this is the sort of shit we need to know about on the podcast. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Like I don't even have this downloaded, I don't think, but people need to be made aware of who the good eggs and the bad eggs are in the community. At the end of the day, most people will just tick on a server and download the mods provided, but not everyone's as in depth about. That's fucking malicious shit to be putting code in that fucks with other people's mods, and that's bullshit.
I don't want to say that my mods are phenomenal or the best, I also have for sure many issues on one of my mods, and they are by no means perfect. But I don't fuck up other mods by purpose, That's the difference. And I don't monetize them.
You can't blame players who play in a server for having this mod. You have to kind of point blame towards server owners in a way. Not all the blame.
But then are aware. Not some server owners. They're just idiots like I was, and they click on a mod and they download it. Dumpgrass said to me before the show, that I need to get a better understanding of coding and stuff like that, so that I can be able to look through files and look for the malicious stuff. And it's kind of why we got you on, lad, to keep us up to date, because Marks and I, whilst we're DayZ fanboys, we don't know that coding side of things. And had you ever heard this before, Marks, about that this mod has code inserted into it that fucks with shit?
I'm nearly certain it's the first time I've actually heard of the mod. But the question I have, right, since it's such a bad mod, why does it have 4 stars on Steam?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Shouldn't all the modders out there be... I don't know if you can downvote or something like that. I don't even know how the star system works on Steam.
Seriously, I can't bother to even downvote it. I can't bother with that.
Because that would make more people aware, right? So it's like... I'm just saying, I obviously I don't know how this stuff works. I only download mods off the workshop. That's all as far as I go. But if it's got 4 stars, people are obviously going to click on it and be like, "Oh, great! A great mod. It's got 4 stars. Let's download that." I usually rate the mods that I'm looking for as well by the stars, or by the comments underneath it. Looking through the comments and stuff. It's like, to me, as somebody who isn't smart, would see 4 stars in that. Okay, I'll download that and have a look at it and stuff like that, and not knowing that it's going to be doing something like that. It'd be cool if there was like a system where it gets downvoted a lot of times by, say, modders or prominent modders, or like not in an abusive way, but like it gets downloaded and then it gets flagged. So when you could click into the mod, it like
but we do that, and then fucking Steam will end up like YouTube and turn into a snowflake safe place where they turn off the dislike button and no one can fucking tell. It's always risky encouraging people to brigade a mod or something like that. I agree with Dumpgrass' comment there. At the end of the day, players outnumber modders, and the reason that matters is because of what Sauerkraut said there, Wolves of DayZ, because people like cars. They see this mod and it's got all these cool vehicles in it: Mitsubishi Lancer, Nissan Skyline, Soko Bus, F-150, 4 variations. People are going to go.
And I don't want to start about the source of those models which they have.
I let me know about it after the show, because fucking hell, I want to learn a little bit more about
probably
this mod.
Better.
Because it was only recently I kind of learned about it, and I just thought, because everybody knows about the Night Wolf.
GTA is a nice game, right?
Yeah, anyone who's downloading Nissan Skylines and shit into their DayZ server now, that server's not going to be very good.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty toxic place.
Hey.
But I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like modders, at the end of the day, the modders will look out for each other. Like the proper legitimate ones will look out for each other, will help each other out. And if we see some shady shit, then we do something about it, because unfortunately, and this is the reality, is that we can downvote as many mods as we want, we can report as many mods as we want, we can report it to Bohemia and stuff like that. And we're all fans of the game, but at the same time, we can all criticize the company behind it. But Bohemia does fuck all about these kind of mods. So at the end of the day, and as much as it's like, some people might disagree, modders have to also look out for each other and deal with the shady ones. And it's like, because I've seen a few modders like Inclement Dab especially, and a couple of other people whose names I can't fucking... Yeah, no bother. And, they create other mods to kind of, or scripts to circumvent shady fucking modders, like with Nightwolf and shit like that. And that, to me, that's great. I like that. I like the fact that...
Shame and name, yeah.
Shame and name, especially for modders. It's like, because at the end of the day, it's like, don't get us wrong. It's good to make money when you're a modder. It's perfectly fine. Doing commissions, shit like that is completely fine. But when you make a bad mod that breaks shit and you sell it, and it's like, and it breaks shit, either intentionally or not, and you're not willing to improve it, or you're not willing to do it legitimately like everybody else, then get fucked.
Yeah. But yeah, the most
Like-
excuses I hear from server owners who use those kind of mods is it's paid, it must be good.
Yeah,
So it costs
That-
money,
that-
it must be good.
I've heard that before.
Yeah,
So I've seen people say
happens
like,
way too often.
yeah, I've seen people in the DayZ Modders Discord that talk about it's like, but well, it's a paid mod. It's good. It's better. It's better than the free stuff you get in the workshop, bro. It's like, look,
high
mate,
quality.
if you do your research for 5 to 10 minutes, just talk to an actual proper person, a modder who knows what they're doing. Then there you go. And it's like, yeah, sure, you're getting UBO admins, but it doesn't take 5 to 10 minutes to do your research for anybody. Like, you got to have a little bit of critical thinking, you know? Like, shit. Especially if somebody charges you, like, oh, yes, I will make this. Here's this exclusive paid mod, $300. Cough up the money.
See, I think a lot of new servers nowadays as well. It's a tricky one, but I think a lot of new servers nowadays just want to get a server up as fast as possible because they want to come to the next biggest server to make as much money as possible and then, dip. And so they don't think about what mods are adding. They're looking at what mods are the coolest, what mods are the most popular, slap that on a server, put it up, and let's see where it goes. And usually those servers have 0 players on. If you go, into the DayZ launcher now and scroll down through all the servers, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of servers that are just empty and they're modded to all
We've
out.
talked about it in the past.
Exactly.
Apparently in South America, it's quite an issue. These servers pop up, get a whole bunch of people to subscribe and support them, and then it's just basically a rug pull. The server shuts down, and then the same crew set up another server, get people to sign up, and it's just... And the other thing, sort of what you've touched on, again, something we've covered in the past, is what Sauerkraut says. There also somebody is shady check for backdoors. Even some people that I respect and still respect have got backdoors which allow them to access these servers in admin mode and do admin activities, which has been used in ways that I frown upon. We saw what happened with Choco and his knockoff day one servers, and people got into his server and they were spawning bears in and all that sort of stuff.
I remember that.
Which I don't agree with that being done. Who died and made you God? But yeah, it's
Yeah, that's basically the reason why I won't install any mod if it's obfuscated.
Oh, fucking dogpile that prick. Dogpile that prick in chat. I never asked you guys to do much. Dogpile fucking Ike D. Me and him are having a Twitter war at the
moment. Don't worry about it. I got your back, bro. I'm wearing the hat.
I love Ike. I love Ike. It all started. I started it. In my fairness, in all fairness, I should say, everyone's doing those Twitter posts which show all the people you interact with, and I put X's through Ike, and then accused him of stalking me. And it's just escalated from there. The insults are flying thick and fast between us. I'm loving it. Absolutely fucking loving it. Ike
because he fucking
Ike is a fucking legend. I loved your post, lad, where he said, delete that Boydie guy, you deleted him instead, and
yes. Son of a bitch. Oh, it was fucking great. I like it's all good. It's fucking lovely.
Yep, just a good-natured ribbing between as much as he'll probably hate me saying this, someone who I look up to because he brings a lot of positivity to Twitter, which can be the most toxic fucking cesspool of places. But back to the topic though. I think we need to wrap it up because it's something I think we need to look into.
We've got something.
That concerns me. That really concerns me. What's happening there?
Yeah.
Basically.
I just realised as well, it's episode 88, not 87, like I said at the beginning.
That's fine. It's all good.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Mark? Basically what?
Basically, we're all screwed at the end of the day. All our servers are going to go bang.
Yep.
So enjoy it while you can.
Mm-hmm. Now, I wanted to do an update. Last week we talked about the 60% of players haven't even eaten. Someone pointed out to me that the awards on console are broken. Plus, you've also got the sheer volume of alt accounts on those consoles as well. So that could be skewing the figures as well. So I just wanted to do an update on that for people. That's something to be aware of. I did do something though. We all know how much I love a Twitter poll. Where we were talking in that segment about tutorial and all the rest of it, and we only got 55 votes. We're so old if we got out of count. Fucking hell, hike. Is it worth having potentially less players playing this game we all know and love for DayZ to not have a basic tutorial showing people the basic mechanics of the game? The options below are basically what this does to DayZ in our opinion. Interested in your thoughts as well. Yes, meant to be hard. No, we need more players. Majority of people want DayZ to stay the way it is. Out of the 55 who voted, that is hard and unforgiving at the expense of more people coming to play. And the reason, like we talked last week, there was that post from that person who, people are logging in and they just got no fucking idea. I do say a lot, Samurai Viking. It's something I need to look at improving on myself, and I've got an idea on that. I swear too much. I say but yeah, it's something I do need to improve on.
Yeah,
I say it as well. I just cut it out.
But yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting. Most people are happy with the way it is.
Yeah, it says it's the way it's what Jesus Christ just had a stroke. It's the way fuck me. It's
are you all right?
You've gone and fucking destroyed us all now. We're all sitting here trying to oh my God guys, how many times do I say you just fucked the show, mate.
Jesus. Sorry, apologies. It's the attraction that brings people to DayZ, this going into the dark and having to figure stuff out, and that's what brought me into it. It was like watching these videos and having no hold handing, to bring you around. So yeah, it's great. If Rav would put out a tweet earlier on today, he was like, I wish I could go back and experience DayZ for the first time ever.
Yes.
And the running mans were going back to it. And I responded, I was like, I still remember the day I logged into DayZ. I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, and it was fantastic. And the running man's replied and was like, yes, he was scared to hell. He logged off and everything. Like, it's just like that panic and that sheer, just terrifying. Like, it took me, I was terrified of every time I heard a gunshot. I ran away from them. It's great.
Yeah. I like what Samurai Viking just wrote. Sorry, off topic. Sorry for screwing up the show. Cheeky fucker. That's good. I'll pay that. That's well played. But no, you can only have that experience once. One of the things I love doing is going into Twitch and searching for someone whose title indicates they're playing DayZ for the first time, and just sitting back and watching them enjoy that experience of DayZ for the first time. It's amazing. Yes. And there's already a server out there that is like Tarkov in DayZ, Samurai Viking, lad.
I'm no longer part of that project.
Yeah, but you can still talk about it.
Yeah. I will do. Don't get us wrong, I will do. But so Extricate, they've just released beta as of yesterday, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Finally, the servers are up 24/7. They've run into a bit of a, from my understanding, from what I've seen, they're running into a bit of an issue at the start. But it seems like things are going well for them. If you want a good, I would say authentic Tarkov-like experience without the massive fucking difficulty peak, or whatever you want to call it, then XDK is the way to go, definitely. Definitely give them a shot. I'm saying them a lot now, fuck. Prick. Fuck. Definitely give them a shout. Oh, fuck off. No,
Jesus
but
won't be happy.
But I agree.
Definitely give them a shot. Definitely give them a go, though. But even though I'm not part of the project anymore, I really hope that the XTK project continues to go well.
I want to go back to what Scarspeed has just written in there. You've got to think of the players who try DayZ on Game Pass or on a free weekend and absolutely hate it because they haven't got a clue what to do. I really feel there needs to be something done because we're losing a lot of potential players. You know, there's people I know, like Scarspeeder himself, I think said last week that the first time he tried DayZ, he uninstalled it, and he eventually came back to it. There was something about the game that attracted him, and he learnt a little bit more, and then came back. But purely from a business perspective, you would think that I totally understand and I admire them for what they do. But from a business perspective, you'd want more people playing your game, buying your game, and buying the DLC. Livonia. It's great they're going to be showing some love to Livonia in the next year. But it's such a bizarre business model to create something so fucking hard that most people just can't even be bothered trying to learn. But
I also like that kind of.
Yeah, I like that.
Because imagine having a Fortnite experience in DayZ. You join a game like Fortnite and everyone knows instantly what to do because it's so easy. Imagine that Fortnite behavior.
Look, DayZ will never be easy. DayZ will never be easy, but I think just some of the basics, like Sauerkraut said, he's got people joining hardcore servers who don't even know how to craft a fireplace.
Yeah.
DayZ separates the men from the boys. You could put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I mean, when it comes down to it with DayZ, it's one of those unique games, those unique experiences, and unfortunately, it also goes into the realm of once you've experienced it for the first time, that's it. The magic is gone, but it's not completely gone. You always still play it, and you're getting impassioned by it, one way or the other, and it sparks something in you. It's like content creators. You play the game for so long, you want to make videos about it. Then you want to make then you want to do streams about it, and you want to be a stupid arsehole who does a 24-hour stream on a stupid bet with a stupid Frenchman. Prick. DanceofJesus. And then or you make mods, or you make artwork or something, and you express your love for the game. And a lot of games do the same thing, but with DayZ, as a player, as a core player, yes, sure, once you know what to do, the game becomes easy. But it's not completely easy. It's always going to have that realm of difficulty. And, I mean, I wasn't there for the podcast last weekend because I was catching up on some well-deserved rest. But when people complain that DayZ's too hard or they need to tone down the infected...
they are too weak.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I would say so. I mean, like, sure, don't expect, as a fellow player, you don't expect people to learn the game straight off the bat. But we all came, well, at least most of us came from a point of when the game would kill you for just walking out of a house, like, randomly. You didn't do it the right way, get fucked. Nice.
Yeah, if you think DayZ's bad now, Christ alive, you should have seen it in the alpha days. Holy mother of crud.
I side with Scarspeeder, though. It wouldn't spoil the hardcore experience if they just explained how to open a can of food, load a magazine, or stop a bleed. Those very, very basic functions of, the little tutorial which talks about the radio and that we've watched before, but it just a few little tips just to entice them. It's not going to teach them where food spawns and stuff like that. The intricacy of every little point of the game, but the very minimal basics of that. If you crouch near an infected, it's less likely to hear you, and just see how we go from that. But
I suppose
that said, the player numbers are increasing.
Oh,
I think DayZ is a survival game, and I don't think that it needs to explain anything. I feel like if you join a game which is based upon survival, you should really feel the survival. And it would get lost if the base game would tell you need that for doing that, or
Yeah.
I kind of like it when I feel lost in a game, and I kind of miss it in DayZ because I play it for so long.
Mhm. Well, yeah.
I like new players because they're idiots and easy to kill.
There you go.
Very, very true.
They have their
Christmas noobs
uses.
are coming soon.
Oh yes.
He's slaying them down.
But
There's so many videos out there. Sorry, lad. There's so many videos out there. If they do get to YouTube and just type in "How do I survive in DayZ?" What am I meant to do in DayZ? There's going to be so mmany people coming up.
Yeah.
You've got the ArchieStormCloud, RaG Plays is doing videos. There's so many. I can't even name them all. Wobo. There's so much information out there, but I just think it wouldn't kill the game if they did something within the game to give you just a basic heads up. Even just so they explain the mechanics. The way, don't be afraid to try combining items. This is how you combine an item. There are many different recipes within DayZ. So it gets people, oh, okay, I've got a piece of wood. What if I drag a piece of paper onto it? Oh, okay, it did that. Just explaining, maybe not so much the how to do something. If you combine a stick and a piece of bark and a stick, it'll create a fireplace. But just the mechanic that this is how DayZ does things. Other games, Scum has recipes that you can access in game. Scum is, whilst it's more advanced in some ways, but in other ways, it feeds it to you on a plate. It's handed to you on a silver platter, the recipes for everything.
Yeah,
DayZ doesn't do that, and DayZ should never do that. Some of the more complex mods, though, like I spoke about you with your Beehive mod, Tyson, there still needs to be some guidance as to what to do. But just some basic ideas of some people just aren't going to bother, Michael, with going to YouTube, but just explaining how the mechanic works. If you drag something onto something, you may get a reaction. The obvious one that will explain to people how to do it is dragging a magazine onto a gun. Or hold R to reload. You can go in and you can check the commands and that and learn from it. But that's
I
my
remember when
thoughts on it. Lad, you were going to say?
Sorry, go, lad.
No.
Go.
Okay. What I think DayZ should do is that they should completely scrap the current tips that they have and just have it for information that is useful for even experienced players. Because, I've now got 4,000 hours in the game, and I keep forgetting you can use a sewing kit to stitch your wounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's just stuff like little stuff like that, where it's like even an experienced player will be like, oh shit, yeah.
I had someone tell me something on stream the other day that I completely forgot about as well. I was like, forgotten you could do that. Now, what were you going to say, Mark?
Remember, when DayZ was doing the engine swap and it went from alpha to 1.0 beta or whatever it was. And they done weekends where they'd have the game online for a weekend or so with the new beta engine and you could go in and play it. I remember I streamed it for when it was up for one weekend and I was at a military base and I found a magazine and some ammo and stuff like that. And I remember asking my chat, I was like, chat, how do I load ammo into the gun? Because I was so used to doing it the old school way of dragging the ammo into it and then going load magazine or whatever it was, that I didn't realize you had to hold R, to put ammo into it and unback. So it completely threw me off when doing it. I still have that footage somewhere. Actually, it's quite interesting to see because it was like, holy crap! I had this mag in my hand and I was dragging ammo onto it, and it was like, no, this is not working at all. It was so weird having to, it was so foreign having to do it all this new way. So I can see how it could be hard for people to do. But it's a learning experience.
And I totally agree with what you said there, Michael. There's some things that they should never do, such as I hate the squad system, which highlights your teams. But I know some people like that as a mod. But I hate it. That's not DayZ. Go play PUBG or other games like that. Yeah. Yep.
And that's it. It's like, having something that can cater to all different kind of players, especially new ones, because no doubt you'll get a group you'll get a group of people who will get the game on Game Pass or something like that. Especially I'm just talking console here, and it's like a bunch of people just play it, but one of them is a bit more attentive than the rest, and they're all struggling. It's like, oh shit, like fuck, I can't fucking make a fire, like I can't find any matches, can't do any shit like that. And it's like, oh, you can just create a hand drill kit. It's like, wait, what? And it's like, it's stuff like that can fucking make or break it for you. But at the same time, you've also got to make sure that the game is as difficult as it can be without being completely fucking detrimental to the survival of the fucking game itself, right? Like, you got to have difficulty, but you've also got to have that level of easiness to it. A nice difficulty curve. You need a really nice difficulty curve, which I think DayZ is actually one of the few games that actually do it correctly. Sure, they introduce quality of life stuff like the hit markers and whatnot, which whatever you want from it. But it's stuff like that really changes the game up in certain ways. And I embrace it. I think it's great. And
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I missed the podcast last week, and I'm with the achievements and whatnot. And I mean, that's the thing. It's like I will say this for just that topic. The achievements that a lot of games have are fucking dreadful. They're not actually achievements. You're getting a pat in the back for just playing the game like a normal person. If you want to make achievements for DayZ, have a character survive for 7 days in Scholasty, or survive, survive like Riffy, the boat Riffy with a full NBC suit with one gas mask, like one gas filter, or something like that. Go in and out, do what you need, like shit like that. Those are actual achievements for the game. Do something like that. Have your character survive for a week, 2 weeks, a month, or something like that. And it's like,
yeah,
it's just shit like that. But
yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was said last week, but I just wanted to reiterate just in case. But anyway.
Now we had the 1.15 drop on Tuesday.
Yes.
Wasn't such a big deal for PC, other than a couple of new guns and a few other pretty cool features. Where the real love was for the console community. Now I put a tweet out and no fucker responded to it. But I did get a DM from Luke, who is one of our regular watchers, and yes, they are doing some awesome stuff. They're going ham with the what this is from is people are now using Inclement Dab's DayZ editor and creating stuff like the PC community have been able to do for ages. And I'm so fucking happy for the console community. It's just awesome.
Scale Speeder's been doing the
Scale Speeder did his video on it, showcasing it for them, and it's been blowing people's minds.
Yeah, he's been doing the Lord's work up there with all the stuff he's been doing. He's been giving out free packs and everything to people to get on GitHub, where he's created different areas on the map and stuff. It's been insane what he's been doing. Really, really good to see.
It's just great to see them awesome. Finally being able to customize their maps, and it's just another thing that the good communities will get in there and just get working on this sort of stuff to make their community stand out from the others.
And that's it. And it's like it's modders helping out the console community in one way or the other when it comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, like, without mods, none of the support that the console folks are getting right now would even be happening. Like, let's face it, how do you actually create custom areas for your maps? Mods. And it's like, people like to say, if it wasn't for the modding community, DayZ wouldn't be where it's at. And that solidifies it even fucking more. Like, obviously not to shit on the devs too much, but it goes to prove a point. Now, I'm really interested in this video. What's this?
Ah, love it.
What is the name?
Oh, that's fucked.
That is trippy as anything.
Oh,
What the fuck?
That is fucked.
To answer your question, Choco, not right now, mate, sadly.
No, it won't be.
Even Adam even said publicly he wasn't going to bring the mouse to console.
It's love.
Thank you, Angela.
So fucking wacky,
So trippy.
shit like that.
The fuck?
That's a good way to check geometry and shit. That's for sure. Fuck me. But Choco, to answer your question, Namask will never come to console. Ever. Sumrak doesn't even allow monetization.
Yeah.
For Namask. That's perfectly within his right, and he would extend that right to console as well. If it was a free update or free map, then maybe. But
Look at. Oh, sorry, I've got to
idea.
go off track here on a couple of things. One, I love that achievement. I'd heard of that one, DanceofJesus. That would be
Yes.
an amazing one for them to add to DayZ. That if you kill a dev, you get a special achievement, and it spreads like a virus from person to person as you kill them. And look at fucking Ike D. Gets himself a girlfriend, and now he's all fucking macho, calling people out in chat. I don't fucking know.
Ike is now based.
He is a Sigma male.
What you need to do, buddy, is steal his girlfriend.
Mate,
He's just said
Daylight
sorry,
robbery.
he's just said this he's just said this on Twitter. I propose an alternative to the call friendly to save your life. Instead, let's start calling out enthusiastically, I'm not Boydie, to significantly improve your chances of surviving.
the sad part is there are people out there who don't like me, and I saw a lot of them liking his tweets, and it was like, guys, oh man, this is just it's a fun thing between two friends. Just chill, okay? Just chill. That kind of ruined it, but yeah, I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was a lot of fun. I love fucking Ike. He's just so funny. Now, we did have another topic, but I didn't get a response from the dev team. So I'll wait on that one. That's the what low pop, medium pop, high pop actually means. But we just mentioned the Molsk 1 year anniversary
Yes.
a few days ago. 1 year since the Moles came out, and kind of blew the DayZ community with the differences, the stuff like the frost feature, the event and being teleported, and just it got people starting to think outside the square, outside the box. That we're not, a lot of people had been trapped by the limits of what they'd seen with Chernerus and Livonia and some of the other modded maps. And then Adam goes and drops this Namolsk bomb with Inclement Dab doing work for him with the orb and the event. It was just amazing, absolutely amazing. One of the biggest moments in the history of DayZ was the release of Namolsk.
Yeah,
And the
Absolutely.
follow-up to it as well, it's something that actually like completely reinvigorated DayZ for me at the time. And actually speaking to Adam, and I don't know if he'll be watching. He's probably busy, which is completely understandable. But I was fucking fangirling, so I was like, oh my god, it's Samrak. Oh. And now it's like I can talk to him perfectly fine. Somehow, not really. I'm still like, oh my god, it's Samrak. But the whole idea in the Molsk, obviously I wasn't there for the actual mod back in the Arma 2 days. So watching it grow from its 1.0 release a year ago to seeing the final update coming out now next year is fucking phenomenal. And the content that's been made around it, and just seeing everything with Namolsk, and I've been so enamored with the lore. Still wondering what the fuck Phoenix is, by the way. I spotted that on the little sticky notes in A2. Very nice touch. Like, Namolsk a unique experience. It's definitely playing DayZ in hard mode. That's for fucking sure. Like, it make or breaks you. And it fucking broke me.
He did a masterful job of hyping it up. I was so happy because for those who have followed me for a couple of years, probably 2 to 3 years ago, he gave me some footage of the map when I did a spotlight interview with him to release to everyone. Some of the first footage of I think it was the first footage he released in the Molsk. And the amount of times I had people comment, 2 years and it's still not out. But I'm glad he took his fucking time, because what he released was pretty much the benchmark for how you should release anything, be it a mod, be it a map or something like that. Create some hype around it, spend some time, release it when you're happy, not when people have pushed you to doing it. It's just, Tyson, he just really showed a masterclass of not only how to hype it up, but how to support it afterwards. The slow release of the event and being teleported to Athena and all the rest of it. It was just a masterclass, wasn't it, Tyson?
Yeah, absolutely. And Master's one of the masterpieces in DayZ. I'm really glad he took his time and didn't push it as soon as possible. Yeah. But I also think he took his time to make sure it meets the requirements, what people expect, because if you see it from a perspective from an actual DayZ dev, there's a bit more pressure behind, I think. Yeah. Like a normal DayZ modder, like I could just publish any mod, and if it's not finished, what's the deal, That's why mods are there, so I can improve on them, I can fix stuff. But if you're an actual DayZ dev, people expect some quality,
it was big when you had Shroud in his stream an hour before the map even went live, and when every server, Namalsk server, suddenly went live, you couldn't get into a single Namalsk server to save your life. You couldn't do it. It was impossible. People were ready for Namalsk, the way they make servers beforehand and everything, so they go live most of the map releases, and they didn't have enough servers, and I don't think that's ever happened before for another mod in the existence of DayZ so far. Like, queues upon queues, it was insane.
Yeah. And then he went and did this. He created a video showcasing some of the highlights of obviously what people had streamed for the most part. But what an amazing thing to do as well. It's just, this is a masterclass in how to promote something, and I highly recommend go watch this video. I'll share a link to it. You need to hear the audio, the screams, the laughter, the everything of people. Just, he spent so much time collating all of this into one place for people to watch. Yeah.
I watched it. I watched it earlier on today, and I was really, really fucking happy because that it was just a nice little. It was just a nice little video, and I can almost assume for certainty that there is just so much more clips that was submitted, so much more stories that could have been told, and to put it into a 3-minute long video or something like that was great. It was really, really cool, and I mean, we all know that the next update is going to be the last one, and honestly, couldn't commemorate the guy more about it. Fucking absolutely fantastic what he's done. And I genuinely can't wait to see what he's got going next, but it's going to be so fucking heartbreaking to see that last update hit and be like, this is it. This is the end of the story for Namalsk. And quite frankly, I can't fucking wait. But, it's going to break my heart.
The question is, though, is he going to do another map? Huh?
Who knows?
Taviana returns.
No, we won't get. We will never get Taviana.
He should give us Taviana.
That's not his to give.
I know.
They and they're making.
And just give us some up.
Yeah. Well, he released an update on Taviana and showing the the Bra Bridge. Yeah, have you seen the preview of the bridge on Taviana? And a lot of people were very, very happy to see that. So he's still working well. I've got an interview with them as well. If you want to go check that in the Spotlight series, I do. But that was, we'll see how that goes. Definitely go check him out on Twitter. There's this post here, 1 year of Demolsk, and don't forget that he does have a button where you can send him a few quid to thank him for the work and support. These are the people you should be supporting, not the ones who are fucking gouging you with dodgy fucking code inserted in mods, but the people who are creating excellent stuff and supporting the creation of that. Just they're the ones who people should be giving their money to, not these fucking dodgy cunts. Pardon my French. Right. We're going back into our territory we've already covered. Let's move on.
No, but fix the game.
Yeah. Marks, you posted that DayZ finally of all fucking time has gone back to being mostly positive.
Yeah. I woke up that morning at like 7 a.m. and checked Reddit, and it was the first thing that popped up on Reddit, so that's how I found it. And then I went to look for myself, and yeah, it had hit like mostly positive, I think, and stuff like that. So it was really good to see as well, because a couple of days before that, they broke 46,000 players, so it's just getting better and better, really, wasn't it?
That they fucking did, and you know what? Fucking finally, props to them. Fucking finally. Absolutely wonderful. It's been a genuine wonder if they would ever break that counter, and they fucking did.
Recent reviews very positive. But all reviews mostly positive,
which is very good to see. So, yeah, it's good to see, because that even just seeing that those reviews there now, people are more probably inclined to maybe buy the game as well, which will be good as well.
Just a quick thing as well. How about they have on the page a guide video? So it's not something actually in the game. It's something on here, one of these videos that you see that is a guide to the basics of what we talked about. DayZ is a challenging game, but about it, who remembers the review bombing? I remember that, Ike. I remember that very well. What were you going to say, Tyson?
I mean, to be honest, DayZ is pretty immersive when it comes to gameplay. So basically you need, for example, a can opener to open a can, but you also can use a knife or even an axe or stuff like that since a few patches ago. They even made it easier. So to be honest, I think the only thing DayZ would need is use your brain.
Yeah.
And look, you could word the video that way. You could word it that way, seriously. Just use your, you try to use some common sense when you are encountering items. And, probably the only thing is to explain the combine mechanism. That's how DayZ crafts things. You combine it. And
I think it's just part of the game to figure out things and not getting something explained beforehand. So I think that's what makes playing DayZ more fun to explore things and figure out things instead of getting a whole what's it called?
Your handheld.
Yeah.
Wolves of DayZ, question for you. Have you updated your review? I remember I put a post on Reddit encouraging people to, after all these years, probably time to do another one. I got a lot of hate for it, but I don't give a fuck. And I basically said, after all these years, it's time to go in and update your review with how you see the game. And there were the usual haters on Reddit. Fucking DayZ, piece of shit game and all the rest of it. But yeah. But no, I couldn't be happier that 70% of the 237,343 user reviews for this game are positive. So,
I mean,
can't complain.
I will say though, that like DayZ, it's definitely a It's so much better than it used to be. So much better, and it's great that. Whereas obviously there are still major problems with the game that we're all aware of, but the fact that the game has gotten so much better in terms of quality in content, yeah, sure, we still don't have 0.62 parity, but
Oh my god, if somebody else talks about 0.62, I swear to Chris. It's all you hear nowadays. It's 0.62, 0.6. Shut up, it's in the past. Move on. Right.
never.
Drives me mad.
I'm never gonna fucking move on. I want me 0.62 back. I want me fucking red 9. What's me fucking red 9? Anyway, sorry.
But what I was gonna ask was, what are like the big game-breaking things in the game as of right now? Like, I don't mean little bugs now. I mean massive things.
The main thing that breaks is networking. That is it. Right now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Networking is one of the biggest problems with DayZ.
Explain
But
it.
maybe-
Explain it. For those, remember, you've got dummies like me in here. Explain networking.
Okay, so it's shit.
Thank you.
So networking with DayZ, it's not as good as say like other games, right? You know, you got games that work on Unreal and Unity, and networking is pretty fucking top notch. RaG, I'm pretty much you can confirm that, yeah. I'll just take the silence as a yes.
Mhm.
So.
Oh, you meant my sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So but with DayZ, networking is done differently. And when it goes bad, you definitely notice it because people will start flying out to Mars in their larder and shit like that. And then you got the desync issues.
Yeah.
And
It's basically synchronizing between server and client.
yeah. Once that improves, which is one of the main things DayZ needs to focus on for 22, I think, is working on the desynchronization between the server and the client. And the game will fucking improve massively. And then all these stupid comments
dumb it
that you
down again.
see-
Explain the server and the client for people who might not understand that.
So your client talks to the server about
What's a
what
client?
you're doing. The client is you, the player.
Yep.
Your
computer.
Your computer, yes. Your computer is talking to the server about your position, what you've got in your hands, what you've got in your inventory, what you're doing, stuff like that. And then the server relays that information back to you and other people in the area. Thus, a network.
And the most common way people will see issues with that is when you're looking at your friend and you know they've got a gun in their hand because they told you it, but you're seeing an axe in their hand or something like that, or nothing in their hand.
Exactly. And it can cause a lot of issues with combat. So you have to log out the game to log back in to fix the synchronization. It's a major issue with the game. And it's one of the common bugs I find when it happens. I don't exactly know why it happens. I'm not as technologically sound with that. But once stuff like that is fixed, because when, say, for example, you're in a car and then you start to desync, the server and your client is trying to talk to each other about, okay, where's the positioning of the car? And pretty much, they don't fucking know. They're trying to, I guess you could say that they're trying to fight one another about which one is right. No, the car's here. No, the car's actually there. And then when it spazzes out and you finally end up in a tree, that's where both the client and the server have agreed this is where this is. And unfortunately, sometimes, most of the time, it kills you. So, once the devs have finally figured out the desynchronization issues, then the game, in terms of actual, I guess you say with polish, it'll be so much better because the devs have acknowledged in the past that the networking isn't as good as it could be. And they've tried this year to really work on it And they have. You know, that they have been working on it. Networking has gotten better in the past few years. It's not perfect, but it's getting better. It would be all the time, like you'd get in a car and a high-pop server and it would fuck up. Now it's only half the time.
Yeah, I haven't had a problem with a car at all this year, like flying off or anything like that. They've been very stable for me now.
Yeah, they got more stable, but yeah, you still have issues.
And not, yeah.
The main issue with vehicle. Sorry, go.
Go on, mate. You're the vehicle expert.
I'm no expert in networking and stuff like that, but as far as I understood it, it's that vehicles synchronization happens mostly on the server side, and the server tells the client what's going on. And when there's, let's say, 5 vehicles on the server, it's fine. The server can mostly handle that, depending on the hardware it runs on, of course, but most servers can handle that. But let's say if one server has like 100 vehicles and like 20 or 30 people drive at the same time, the server has issues to synchronize them properly to the client for every a second or two. So they synchronize properly. And that's why you have that roll sometimes. So you flip like 100 times a minute, or you get a skyrocket. And that's also the reason why you shouldn't test an offline mode, like, with a Raft. Yeah, because it needs a server synchronization, and offline mode is just only client.
Right. So, let me ask this then, kind of moving on a bit. If, whenever January, March, April, whenever they release 1.16, and it's the networking update, and boom, suddenly it's all fixed, right? Just hypothetically, go with me here now. It's all fixed. What's the next major thing or problem that DayZ has to face, right? So networking's done, cars work, aiming is smooth, the game just feels fantastic. That's out of the way. That's the major big bug. Now, I'm not talking little bugs,
I seriously feel like that's the last big issue DayZ has.
That's pretty good. That's the last big
everything
issue.
else, I think, is just some content. But
I would say the next things, once that, because that is a major hurdle, it's probably one of the last few major hurdles. The next one would be a security update to secure the engine to prevent cheaters and hackers on the PC.
Yeah, sure.
And
good point.
A graphical update, because DayZ is showing its age. It's a beautiful game, definitely, but it's showing its age.
Yeah, and I mean, graphics is not a big issue, I think. I mean, it would be a good thing, but it's not.
Yeah. It's definitely not a big issue compared to, say, like actually fixing your fucking game.
Yeah.
But
so we got two main issues remaining.
Maybe with that new graphical artist that positioned us there, hopefully that'll maybe be like a wink wink cough cough. Maybe there's something coming down the road. Big update.
Honestly, whoever gets that position, I can't fucking wait, because I'm not going for it now. I can't. So, well, I want to go for it, but I just can't. It's going to take a long fucking time.
I'm with a few people in chat. The graphics to me, I don't mind them. I think DayZ is quite a beautiful game. Some of the screenshots I see, yes, I know that some of the people are photoshopping them to make them look a bit better, but showing its age, we're talking about fucking Jesus, like
I mean,
but.
I mean, I'll stand by my point that DayZ needs a graphical update, because
it would be nice.
Yes, as a player, yes, you don't really care. The game does look good. It's fantastic, but as the girls saying, from a dev point, it is fucking shit. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it really, really is terrible. And Infusion
it's
comes
outdated.
With
That's the problem.
Yes, Infusion comes out with PBR, which I've said before in the past, physical-based rendering, which most game engines now use. And I've been working with EMATs, which is basically what DayZ uses to do shit like that. It needs better lighting, as DanceofJesus says, a better workflow, PBR. volumetric clouds, stuff like that, to make the game look visually better. Because
what about the combat system, though? I've been seeing a lot of feedback from people on Twitter, especially that, and this is, Marks, you're going to hate me saying this, but the .62 combat was better. You're a PvPer, Marks. What do you think of the combat system that we've got in DayZ at the moment?
See, I don't mind it. There is the annoying bugs, like you have your AEST bug.
Yes.
For example, but that's a networking issue. So if a networking issue would fix that, mostly.
What?
From what I've heard. The AEST bug, when you AES a gun, aim down sights on a gun and it like lags and it sometimes kicks it back down. Yeah.
Okay. Never experienced that.
I've been told that's a network issue. Obviously, I suppose you're on about the zigzag stuff as well. Gunplay, feels fine, I think. Right now, I don't know. What do you mean by combat system?
I just see so many people complaining about the way it works in DayZ, that it's not realistic, that it's the skill barrier's been lowered is one of the comments I remember seeing. Arcade gunplay, what Winstride's saying there. Before in DayZ, you had to actually get good, whereas now it's been dumbed down a bit, and that may be a byproduct of the game also being on console, but there's a lot of people saying that it's just not that same benchmark anymore. Almost anyone can PvP in DayZ, as opposed to before, the real PvPers achieved a skill level that rewarded them for having achieved that.
Honestly, I can't count because I did not. I was so bad at DayZ back in like .62 and before that I didn't PvP. It just wasn't something.
DOJ is just the guns don't. Even I'll agree on this. The guns just don't have that feel to them. I'll tie this in with something else. A few weeks back, it was something Dumbgrower and I were talking about before the show. A few weeks back on my stream, when I was playing DayZ, we were talking about what's the best entry-level weapon that you can get. And I said it's the M16 because someone said no, it's the SKS because it has more bullet damage. And this may have changed, but someone actually went and checked the files and said no. The bullet damage, even to the ranges, is very similar, if not the same, from memory. Don't quote me on this. I may be wrong, but why would you carry a weapon that can only hold 10 rounds? Has to be individually loaded each round, when you can carry a rifle that will have 30 rounds, potentially 60 rounds if you find a 60-round Stanag mag that can be fired in single and in burst. The only advantage that the SKS has that I can see is that you can attach a PU scope to it and get that 1.5 magnification. But
it all comes down to the player using it, though. Yeah, a good player can use an SKS in 10 shots and clean up. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you give a bad player an M16 with 60 rounds, how many of those 60 rounds are they going to hit? Especially when they don't suddenly expect an enemy to be there and they suddenly panic and they're not used to it and everything. They'll hit the walls and trees around more than they'll actually hit the enemy. Whereas a skilled enough player could take an SKS and fire 5 shots at an enemy and hopefully hit most of them. You can still, you can. It depends. It comes down to the player, I think. Honestly, though, the best entry-level gun is the double-barrel shotgun.
7.62 by 39 rounds have the same base damage as 5.56 by 45.
Yeah, so it also comes down to personal preference. Which gun do you like more? Some
but
people like an SKS over an M4. That way.
12-gauge slug. You get hit with a fucking 12-gauge slug. That should have the most fucking damage. But
this is what I'm saying. The best, low-tier gun or whatever is the double-barrel shotgun. Get that, put some slugs in, or buckshot. Buckshot's pretty nasty as well, because of the spread it has on it. You'll fuck people up with a shotgun.
Oh yes.
Yeah. If you use it properly. Yeah, I thought the SKS would have been more powerful though with its 7.62 rounds.
But
I haven't tested Jad's Legacy Gunplay mod, but I have heard of it. That's part of the conversations that I was referring to. People talking about that lad.
What's the difference between Legacy and the other one that's out, Escomplay?
What, Escomplay? Legacy is actually genuinely more like 0.62 inertia, which is really cool. I've actually tried it. I do recommend people check out the Legacy mod to really get a hold of it, test it. What I really like about the reporting system that he has is you literally can just type it in the game what you think about it and he can see it, and that's really great. But it's really cool. I like it. But as I say with PvP in DayZ right now, anybody can PvP, but not everybody can be good at it.
Yep.
Right now.
And I kind of like those mods, like the Gunplay and the what's the new one?
Yes.
What's it called?
I can't remember the exact name for it. It's Legacy.
The Legacy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea, but I feel like, sorry. Go on.
No, I'm watching the video right now.
Oh, it really is the old. Wow. Is that Minecraft music is on the background?
No.
Oh, it sounds like it. Wait,
instant scream. Oh, that is. I'm getting memories, dude. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks.
The figure of 8 sway.
Oh, shit.
What I just fear about stuff like that is that it might get some attention and servers will add it, but players will always tend to pick the easy way. Just move on to another server which has the easier, like the vanilla gunplay.
Well, that's it though. Like every single server that's out there caters to somebody, so it'll have some succession, definitely. Day one.
See, I'm kind of that way with the. I'm kind of that way now with the S Gunplay mod. I'm not. Before I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool, but now the more I kind of like see it or kind of use it, it's like, it's kind of, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it compared to like I think it overdoes it a bit, but with this, it definitely looks, feels like the 0.62 version. Definitely worth a try, but I don't know. I don't think many people will like it.
Yeah, Skullspeeder's comment is exactly what you're basically saying there, Marks. Arguing against the current PvP is like arguing against traders. They've both driven an increase in retention of players, making the game more fun. So it's that age-old argument of realism versus playability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's it.
If it's a big deal for you, play on a server that's got the mods that make it more like 0.62.
God, that AK set is awful.
That's what it used to look like, dude. It's great. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It's like PvP, gunplay, everything like that. The combat system is designed for both PC and console. I saw people talk about it in our main chat actually about PvP and console. If you try to do 0.62 PvP with a controller, you're going to have a bad time. And you're still going to have a bit of a rough time with controller now with the current system. But people were talking about aim assist. Aim assist only works for infected on console. It works brilliantly for a PvE aspect, but if you're actually trying to kill an actual player, you have no aim assist. You need to be accurate, which I really like. That's the way it always has been, as far as I'm aware. If any actual console PvPers are in the chat can correct or deny that would be great. But that's the way it is.
I don't think aim assist works on players, only on infected and AI.
Right,
yeah.
That's just
Yeah, exactly. So that's brilliant. But like I said, if you try and do PvP in a controller 0.62 and before, it's just a bad time. So the current PvP, whereas I do have my gripes with it, is great, but I enjoy it. It's great. It's cool. I like it, but I also like mods like Jad. What Jad has there, and you know the AEST gunplay and AEST visual and stuff like that. They bring that unique aspect to the game back, but they also put their own flair in it. Like what I really like there in that video is the fact that he's still allowing it so you can, like, with the inertia and recoil patterns that you have with your attachments. You know, that's something that's been relatively new in the past couple of patches. So combining a legacy system or legacy type system with something new like that really fucking enhances it. I like that idea. I really like that he's gone with that.
I don't think that .62 gunplay and stuff would not work on console.
No,
There'd be no way.
That's what I'm saying, definitely.
It wouldn't. Like, have you seen, I don't know if you've seen on Reddit, some people's console like PvP gameplay, but like, oh my god, it's fucking shocking. Some people are like shooting the sky and like, oh, it's just horrible. But some people are really good at that as well. But man, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
So
and to address your comment, Wolves, in chat, well, as a modder who has made guns, you know, I work on Snafu, I've worked with Mass on weapons and whatnot. Don't just make a weapon mod and not optimize it. Actually research the gun, research how DayZ handles firearms, and do it properly, like, and you won't have any fucking issues. And if it really gets that bad, hell, make a compatibility patch where if you want to use X fucking weapon pack with Y weapon system mod, use Z compatibility patch to make it work better or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Just there's always ways to get about it. But I mean, every time I do weapon mods, I always do a fuck ton of research and actually like the RPM, the weight, stuff like that. I even like the attachments that I could use. Look at the weight, sizes, and that, compare them to vanilla stuff. Like there's so much stuff you can do. But
I definitely think someone makes a weapon mod with civilian weapons only.
Yes,
there needs to be more for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Say that all the time.
I mean, one single weapon mod with only civilian type weapons, bolt actions and lower firearms, not like 20 to 30 guns which only use 5.56 or
5.56 or 7.62 or all that kind
or
of
50
stuff.
BMG.
See, I personally, I'm not a fan of the .62 gunplay. That like floaty, like the gun swinging around in your arms and shit. Like, what's all that about? It's so much better now, even though it's still a bit clunky today. It's miles ahead of what we used to have. I know people are going to disagree. That's fine, but personally, for me, I prefer the way it is now. Yes, it can be improved. Yeah, maybe there's a different weapon, a stamina for weapon, or I don't know if inertia and stamina is the same thing. But you know, they can tweak it. Yes, they can tweak fire rates as well, or not fire rates, but recoil and stuff like that. But no, it's definitely better the way it is now. The .62 version was good back in the day. If you were to put that on, like if somebody opens a PvP server, I don't know if there is one, or a deathmatch server with the .62 gunplay mod on it, it'd be interesting to see what that's like to play on, but people will not like it. People tried to open S gunplay deathmatch servers, and people hated the idea. Absolutely hated the idea, so I don't think it'll last very long, but it's a cool idea nonetheless.
I want to just comment, Narc Nation said there, I also think DayZ on consoles is a break on DayZ development. DayZ on console should be abandoned and all resources for the PC version should be used. I understand where you're coming from. There's no doubt that the move to console has changed some of the elements of PC DayZ, but my comeback will be that without the funding, the cash injection that BI got from DayZ being released on console, I doubt the development of the game would have still been going. So it is kind of sad that some things got dumbed down, for want of a better way of putting it. But it's brought a whole new group of people across to PC DayZ. The amount of people, Melbourne in chat is one, Scale Speeder. They're console players who also play it on PC or have switched from console DayZ to playing it purely on PC. So it's a sacrifice that was needed to keep the game going.
I don't think we'd be playing DayZ now at all if it didn't make the move to console.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, because especially me, say like, if it wasn't for the modding community, then DayZ wouldn't be where it is. But at the same time, got to give respect for our console folks. Definitely. Like, funnily enough, I had this conversation with this lad that works at one of my banks, right? And we're talking about DayZ, we're talking about Essica and that, and shit like that. He's PC. But we're talking about console, and he was like, I'm genuinely surprised. It works on a console. And I joked on him, was like, yeah, barely. But at the same time, it's like, look, having DayZ on console and it works, and the systems that it has works, is a feat. It's great. And the way that I see it, the more people that play on DayZ, whether it be on PC or console, or a Nintendo Switch or a fucking Casio calculator, couldn't give a shit. We're all in the same boat. And that's it. It's like, we're all there. We're all playing the same game. We're all enjoying the same fucking thing. Yeah, sure, PC, we've got mods, but mods are influencing how the console version pans out, which is great. I like it. I like the idea of that. And I can't wait to see what else it brings out for the future.
Exactly,
when
100%.
All things said and done. And, this is, okay, not to obviously shit on Narf Nation, because, his opinion is his opinion. But one thing that I guess you could say that irks me is when people say development on console slows down development for PC. No, it doesn't. Both versions are virtually exactly the same. Like, sure, the console might get a few little extra tweaks here and there to serve for their console purposes. That's fine. But I genuinely check the console patch notes first for PC, because I know for a fact they're going to be the fucking same. And it's cool. And it's like, we're guessing the exact same game. Maybe a few tiny little differences. But it doesn't detract from development time whatsoever. We've got 5 patches this year. 5 patches.
Yeah.
And they were all fantastic, apart from, 1.15 was okay. But all patches brought something completely new to the table, and everybody got the same piece. And that's great.
Speaking of something new to the table, bows. Are we going to see him for Christmas?
Shut the fuck up about bows, for fuck's sake. I am.
Where do we hear that all the time?
I am sick to fucking death. Every single time DayZ posts something on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, fucking Pornhub, I don't fucking care. Every single time it's fix cars, fix your shitty game, where's bows? Thank God they brought out the Orc, because I was going to have an aneurysm, right? I'm fucking sick.
At least you're not getting it 300 times on an update video every single time one comes out. Holy shit, I'm about to ban those words.
Where's the red 9?
Now, I found a thread on Reddit that interested me.
Oh, Lord.
What is a piece of loot you always grab even if you don't need it right away? I replied to it, basically, no surprise as to what I would say. Everything. I pick up everything until I find something better.
Yeah, but always a battery. It's always a battery.
Yeah, battery, meds, sewing kit. What else?
Tetra, nails, rope.
Rope, yeah. Saline bags and IV starter kits.
Yep.
Always are a must. Some optics, depending if I find an optic that I really like at below there or something, I'll always take it with me. And I'll always drop it if I don't need it down the road. Suppressors, like pistol suppressors, if I ever find one, I always take one.
Just to elaborate as well, folks, I know it was mentioned earlier in the stream as well, if you get a sewing kit, and you plan on using it, don't forget to disinfect it. Otherwise, you'll get that fucking dreaded wound infection.
Yes. What's the stuff? The tincture?
Alcohol
Disinfect
tincture.
rags and stuff.
Yep.
I've been carrying that around a lot recently, even if I don't need it. Leather sewing
NBC gear,
kits.
in case contaminated area hits you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gas mask. I always carry a gas mask on me now. Because you still get cut, but you won't get the toxic infection. So it gives you that time to whack the gas mask on and get out of there.
Yeah. I see a lot of people saying lockpicks, but I never, ever use lockpicks.
Me neither.
Ever.
No, I carry one all the time. There's not much I don't fucking carry, as you guys know.
Yeah.
Press Fest.
Fucking cool.
If I see a Press Fest, if I spawn in and there's a Press Fest XP, I instantly take it because it will save your life. Until you find a plate carrier.
That's a good one. Weapon cleaning kits.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fucking think, actually. The alcohol tincture, definitely. Vitamins. Tetra, charcoal, basically the main ones. EpiPens.
Yeah, if you're on vanilla-ish server, yes.
Yeah.
Morphine.
I'm just trying to think, actually.
Knife.
No, I carry like 2 knives at a time, really. Even though I'll have like a sharpening stone in my inventory.
But yeah, it was. I thought it was an interesting thread just to see what people is their go-to item that they just have to pick up.
Yeah, it's genuinely a really good fucking question. Actually makes you think, because you pick up a lot in your travels, but it's like, and half the stuff you pick up you don't even fucking use. Boy, do you definitely know that. But it's like, but what actually do you pick up that you think, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to use, and you just never do?
I don't, because I'm very particular like that.
I like that reply to me. If you have to run, it's already too late.
Oh, your stamina, you ain't bloody running anywhere.
Fucking hell.
Oh yeah, the flashbangs as well. I love trolling people with flashbangs. And wire now. I always pick up wire so I can craft tripwires and plant them on my teammates so they get flashbanged.
Tire repair kit, as Creep said, very, very useful now since 1.14. See, I'm that way. Like, if I walk past something and I know I don't need it, I'm not picking it up.
Yeah,
I like a clean inventory. I like to have at least 50% stamina minimum, at all times. So I'm going to pick up what I need.
But yeah, it was a good thread. Yeah, we had a go at DayZ Reddit a while back, but there's some good stuff on there, folks. It's why I've still got the bot, I think, that hosts them all, so we can just keep track of what's going on in there. And there's some quite often some good threads on the DayZ Reddit. So pick and choose what you go into. Barely a negative thing. I think I saw a single negative comment on that post, so that was awesome to see.
Oh, it's a good thread.
Very good thread. Now, what have we got? Your post about the stats and all that with DayZ Marks got me to go in and check to see what was happening content creator wise, and it was very, very interesting. Sorry,
being sexist here now towards Twitch again,
because it's easier to find stats than YouTube.
Disgraceful behavior.
Admittedly.
Yeah, you go way back to the dark old days. And she's, for a game that's this old, that has awful graphics, as some people were saying, she's still doing well.
Yeah.
You know, hit that new
Definitely.
record of players the other week, and love you too, Ike. Mwah. But yeah, the numbers just keep on climbing. It's great to see.
It is really, really great to see, and I know there is the stigma where it's like, oh, it's fun to shit on DayZ, but when a game that was originally a mod gets bought out by a company that ends up being more popular than the main franchise you're actually known for, it kind of says a lot. Kind of says a lot, and the popularity just keeps growing, and it's getting better, and people are liking what they're seeing.
Well, I mean, there was even the. Let me just jump back here to Twitter. DayZ's it doesn't want to fucking die. The game just fucking lives forever. And let me. Oh! What the fuck have I done here?
What have you done?
Old people and technology.
Just a boomer moment. Okay. But that's it. You are right, though. Like the game absolutely does not, and it just doesn't die. You can do God knows what you want to the game. But
The Onion did an article on DayZ. I love that. I fucking love The Onion. It's so stupid. It's great. Yeah. Babylon B as well is another good one. They're more political, but yeah. It's great to see the little things like that. There'll be people going, DayZ, what's that? It's free marketing for DayZ. Amish said took this very tongue in cheek, and it was great to see. I'd like to thank my childhood music teacher for helping me hit those really high octaves. I'd also like to apologise for shattering so many of my viewers' windows. It's awesome. It's awesome. And, we had Gecko Fish doing a interview on a podcast a couple of weeks ago that we shared. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. DayZ it's the ultimate zombie game. It won't die. It just keeps on coming back.
See, that's the thing, because I think, and RaG, you might feel the same, I'm not too sure, but when it comes down to it, every single game that's in the same vein as DayZ doesn't quite hit the mark. And I've said it before on the podcast, it tries to do what DayZ does and put its own unique spin on it. And they just can't. They always do something that really detracts from what makes DayZ successful. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If a game were to come out that functions like DayZ, that has the same elements of the game, and it looks a lot better, I will definitely play that on top of obviously normal DayZ. But DayZ will still be that one thing that's like, look, you cannot fucking beat it. There's a reason why, we'll get fucking pissed off with the game, we'll hate it, we'll shit on it, shit on the dev, shit on Behemoth, uninstall the game, never going to install it again, fuck that, done. 2 weeks later, you're on another 100 hours clocked in, or something like that. It's like, you just keep fucking going back to it.
7 people want you to turn your webcam on, by the way, Marks.
7 people
out of 10.
No. When I get to 20,000 subs, I'll turn it on. A split second.
Everybody, get on that now, right fucking now. Let's see how many subs Marky Boy has. Actually, let's fucking go.
I'm 460 away, something like that.
Oh, what fucking pog?
So, can I also, with the popularity of DayZ, right? I was scrolling through TikTok the other night, and next minute, DayZ video pops up on my timeline. I'm like, oh, very interesting. The video had 500,000 likes on it.
Yeah.
It had, so that 500,000 likes, it had millions and millions of views. Another one here that I just saw, it has 700,000 likes on it. I'm trying to find the actual views to the video, but it is becoming a bit more of a struggle, right? So what I done was I went to just upload a video, right, on TikTok and put in the hashtags for DayZ and stuff. So hashtag DayZ has 260.8 million views. Hashtag DayZ Moments has 83.2 million views. Hashtag DayZ Standalone has 22.3 million views. Hashtag DayZ Community has 19.8 million views. DayZ Clips, 18.4 million views. DayZ Funny Moments, 18.3 million views. And DayZ Xbox, 12.3 million views.
Well, you've kind of tied into the next topic, which is want to grow your channel. I had this just pop up in my feed. I'll play it.
Did you get any trick-or-treaters, dude?
Nah, I don't even turn my porch light
Just
on.
this is just on YouTube.
Lived here for 4
You're
years.
that fucking guy?
The kids are crying outside your door, bro. Hello?
I don't know.
Hey, why'd you fucking kill
That's
him?
my shot.
Maybe because he was trying to kill us?
So just a simple little 39-second clip.
Mhm.
And it was from a channel that only has 265 subscribers. Now, I've got no idea the growth of this channel since this clip, but look at how many views it's got on YouTube. 65,152 views. Like Mark's was saying, go to TikTok, go to YouTube, do the shorts. When you look in the... he hasn't even added it in there. Oh, no, hashtag shorts. And enter the words that you need to get it to come up as a short. YouTube are pumping the fuck out of shorts. So it's a great way to get your channel found by people. I'm seeing people like, how do I grow and all the rest of it? You've got to do your own marketing. Don't rely on the algorithm, wait for it to promote you and all the rest of it. Look at what you're doing. Look at what other successful channels are doing. Use it as a feeder. Minder has a specific shorts channel. There are so many people doing them, whether you do it on your main channel or not. There's a lot of talk about, it can mess with your metrics and all the rest of it. But just get out there and start promoting your stuff. Anything you can do to get eyes on yourself. 65,000 views from a channel with 265 subscribers. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's things like a very clean, simple title like that. It'll come up in somebody will click on that and they'll be interested. Like, oh, what's this about? They'll have a look at it. YouTube is also pushing they have a shorts fund. So for people who are wanting to do shorts, I think it's only for partner channels, but they do have a fund where they'll actually fund you to make short videos and stuff like that. So it is pretty interesting.
This was an interesting one. Another shorter video. I think DayZ messed up. Now we were talking about the build anywhere.
Oh shit! Don't.
And I watched this video and I was like, he's got a point, but at the same time, this is why this function is not on the vanilla DayZ servers. This is something that community servers are going to have to manage. Part of the parcel of being able to turn on the build anywhere function is they're going to need to be aware of this stuff. I saw PC servers with this as well. So it's just something that the communities are going to have to manage themselves. So yeah. White theme, is this legal in 2021?
You don't have dark mode enabled.
There you go. Is that better on your eyes, Creeper? But yeah.
He has a point.
But the short videos are a way of success of getting people to find your channel. Like Mark said, they've got the shorts fund, which is paying extra money to people. They're really trying to combat TikTok and stuff like that with this. So yeah.
And that's it. It's like when it comes to DayZ content, like you'll never forget people like the Running Mans, or even hell yourself, Max. Create good solid content all around. You regularly stream. Once you get that hook into the algorithm, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's when you really start to have to put the work in, because you can create any kind of fucking content you want in the meantime. And, you can keep, like, say you want to start making DayZ content. You're not getting that much luck and, whatever. And then as soon as it's like, that's it. You've got you've got that fucking hit, then it's like, right, I've got to keep fucking going, and you got to keep making content, and you got to keep on. You got to keep on the ball. Like, you can guarantee that within a few hours. What? Actually, that's a question. What is the record time for an update video for you, Marks? From the moment it's announced to, or even hell, the patch.
Oh, I think the 115 one was within an hour of it gone live.
Yeah. So
if
it's
I'm not
like,
mistaken.
yeah. So you're on the ball with that. And
But like, I was up at 7 a.m. that morning, getting
Yeah.
footage and my server to be able to do it. I was even getting footage the day beforehand. So it's like I have to do all this work beforehand, like day beforehand or that morning, and then have it all ready. I was literally just waiting. I had all the footage done, edited, music picked and everything. All I was waiting for was the patch notes to release so I could voice over it. I put that into it, make sure all audio levels are good, render it, upload it, job done. I had thumbnails made for that video 3 days in advance because I knew what it was going to be roughly about, so I could get them out of the way so I'm not stressing them when the time comes to it. There's a lot of work behind the scenes to get it all done. It's not.
And that's it. Like, it's not easy, but right now, from what I can gather, it is paying off. Things are going great for you, all things considered, which is great. It's fantastic to hear, and it's fantastic to see. So if you keep up with it, and DayZ isn't as hard to get content for as it used to be. Now you can go to any fucking server, you can spend like a couple of weeks on, and get a lot of footage, and then make a good video. Like GLK's videos, I actually took the time to sit down to watch one of his videos, and I loved it.
They're masterful.
It was fucking great. Absolutely wonderful. The video I watched that he done was making a base on the little island just outside of Electro that's got the lighthouse.
Yeah,
right?
I've watched that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved the video. I absolutely, like, the crafting for it was absolutely masterful. And obviously, I'm not expecting every DayZ creator to do something like that, but he's got his audience. He's catering to his audience in that regard. And every video he makes is a fucking very nice. But then you'll get some other DayZ content creator who'll just focus primarily on shorts. Like, Warbo has a good in-between. He makes his good, like, update videos about, like, the new patches, his tips videos, stuff to do with weapons, updates and whatnot. And then you'll have his shorts, like his M4 shorts video, fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It was a few seconds long, it was like, holy shit. But it's stuff like that you get, and it's just really, really fucking cool to see. And by Michael, I am not fucking shaving. Get fucked, you cheeky dick.
Now, I have got a topic I need you guys to critique me on. I'm going to give you a situation. So I talked last week about the epic raid that I did on the DayZ Down Under server. How we did this mad fucking journey across the map in a convoy from right in the northwest corner to down in Uruvik. And we picked a target at random. We had another target in mind, but at the last minute, on a journey with Prestige that he's working on doing a really cool video on, how one spark plug changed everything, basically. We were trying to find a spark plug, and we came across a tower that was the same tower as we had our base in. And we went, oh, fuck it, this is pretty juicy. So we picked that base, and we did a 23-man Zerg raid, as some people have been calling it. The Zerg Squad United. I reached out to some other factions on the server and just grabbed a bunch of people, come up with the most ridiculous fucking plan, drove across the map. We got fucking absolute... It was an absolute shit fight. Those who watch the VOD know what I'm talking about. Now, a retaliatory strike happened, obviously, which I was really impressed about. My base that you guys have seen in the past is gone. It got raided, and they blew their way through it because we're using a vanilla-esque modding thing. But what they did was they actually went through and burnt everything in the base. On their way out, we had a truck parked in the courtyard. They fired shots into the truck. They told me that was because the truck had a ruined fuel tank, and they didn't want it. Now, this server is set up to be minimal moderation. And I got into a bit of a tete-a-tete with them, and I basically said, look, guys, congratulations on raiding us. I didn't know if anyone would be able to do it because, we've got these slightly modified vanilla raiding tools. Congratulations on doing it. I'd actually said, part of the reason why we created our base was to make a big target so that people could attack and raid us. They accused me of hoarding. Everyone knows I'm a fucking hoarder. We had a barrel that was almost full of fucking sewing kits. I had a long-term goal of if the base had hung around, we were going to turn it into a trading thing so we could give people stuff and all the rest of it. But they basically come out now and said that they're going to, any base is going to be raided by them and that they'll do the same. And I've been saying to them that is going to kill and destroy the fucking server. I understand that there's no rules on the server, very limited, but to take that mindset and just do what I view as malicious raids, griefing. That's classic griefing to me, which nearly every community server bans. I don't get it. I told them that I'd be talking about it. I hope someone from chat is in here or is in chat from their side of things. But I just, I totally applaud them for doing the. It's just pixels. Doing the retaliatory raid. Quite frankly, I'm happy. I didn't like the location of our base. Once I learnt where the two toxic zones were, we were as far away from them as you fucking could be. But I can't get my head around why you would do it that way. For us, no biggie. But that's the sort of thing that, for me, will drive people away. Marks, what's your experience been with that sort of stuff?
I've had both sides.
Yep,
I've done that. Well, we've done it where we've literally dismantled all their walls where they log back in and their base is literally, there's nothing there. There's no sign of their base.
Look, I could understand if you were doing it to get the nails. Nails are a valuable resource on servers that have building.
These weren't heavily modded servers. These weren't vanilla servers.
Mm-hmm.
We've also had the same thing where we've logged back in and there's a single wall left and everything else is gone. There's not an ounce of anything left. So there is no, if it's a vanilla server and there's no rules against it, they're technically not doing anything wrong with it. If they've already announced that they're going to pretty much raid any base they see and they're going to do the same thing, well then it's kind of like, it's up to you then to be like secretly, right, maybe we need to kind of find where these boys are now based, whether they're in the same place or gone again, and you need to get a group of people together again. Don't build a base, but stash stuff, dry bags, stuff like that.
See, I replied to them and I said, I'm not interested in continuing this. But they were like, you can still come and get us. And I said, no, I don't want to go down that track. A couple of years ago, I've talked about it in the past. I had a big trader server or a big trader faction. We were called the Northwest Traders. And I ended up in it turned into a really toxic fucking shit fight. And was partially responsible for the removal of general chat channels in DayZ Down Under because there was it became so fucking toxic because of the nature of the way they raided us. And I just don't want to get involved in that. I did a raid for fun. The target was completely random. And they raided us back and hit us hard. So be it. But I don't want to get into now we're going to get you back. I just want to move on. I just want to fucking...
If that's the way you want to do it, then that's fine. You don't have to go any further. But they've sent a warning out to other clans or bases around now that we could be potentially coming for you. So now these clans are going to have to think, right, okay, now we're going to have to set up either extra defenses or we're going to have to stash stuff. A lot of people on heavily modded servers anyway, I don't know if it's the same for vanilla, but what they'll do is people will log out with their best gear. So if they log back in the following day and they've been raided, no biggie, they have all the good gear on them, that way. That's if it was me now, that just kind of brought a point into my head. Like if I'm building a vanilla server now, I think I'm going to just stash like a weapon, like get a dry bag, put a weapon in it, ammo, some meds, all that, stash it. So if I do get raided, I know I have a thing here. Hopefully it hasn't been found. I can go back and then hopefully retaliate. I like to retaliate, but each to their own.
What about you, Tyson? What's your thoughts?
tricky. I think it depends on how the server is set up and how the rules are on the server. If it's like a minimal supported server or some kind of anarchy server, like what could happen in a real world if that situation would be, you couldn't influence what people should do or could do, and then I think you just have to live with it. But on the other hand, my personal feeling is more like when I would raid a base, I would just do it on the purpose because I need things or I want the things. So I pick the things I need and then I go. But I wouldn't feel the need to destroy everything else to destroy the fun for the other player.
Lad?
Know what I mean?
I think it's
tricky.
stupid what they've done. I think it's stupid. I mean, yeah, sure. The server, as you said, it's a minimally run server in terms of rules, stuff like that. That's fine, and it's all well and good to obviously raid each other. That's part and parcel of the game. You're going to end up doing that. That's perfectly fine. But to go to the length of completely destroying every single thing in your base, destroying vehicles, yes, the fuel tank
unnecessary.
It's very much unnecessary, and it says to me that the fact that you got raided and you're doing this in retaliation means that a nerve was really struck. Like, you need to kind of get off your high horse, admit, like, you got fucked over, fair enough, I'm going to raid you back, I'm going to get my stuff back, maybe a little bit more. Like, heck, I've done raids where I've left notes where I've with paper I've spelt out thank you in like wooden crates, just as kind of like little it's a little bit of like a little bit of jabbing and whatnot, but I don't go to the point where every single wall I'm going to take down to use all your nails or throw them away or something like that. And the whole thing about you're hoarding your boydie, of course you got to fucking hoard.
Yeah,
so that's perfectly fine. But it's what irks me about hoarding or whatever is when a singular base has every single weapon on the server that completely depletes the loot economy. That's where it gets an issue. That's where I'd be like, look, I'm going to fucking take this stuff, I'm going to destroy it, redistribute it. That's fine. But I tend to play on servers. If I do play on a server, I tend to play in one where they have a rule. If you're doing a raid, take only what you need. Leave what you don't need behind. Because unfortunately, there are people like that who they take the goodwill nature of part of the game and they just say, get fucked, and they throw it at the side. And when they say, every single base we see, we're going to do exactly this, what's the point in that? What does it stroke your ego? Like,
I'd like to hear from people in chat. What you just touched on then is one of my main concerns. That now the DayZ Down Under has 3 servers at the moment. One is a modded server with a trader, no safe zone or nothing like that, and you need to find C4 charges, build raiding, and you can't use vanilla raiding, shooting walls down on that. And this server was designed to be a return to the more vanilla-esque side of things, and it's blown up. I think it's the most popular server that they have now. But what's happening is, it's I for the life of me, I can't understand it. I always try, and I've done bad shit in the past as well, like I alluded to. I've been involved in toxic shit, and I'm trying to move away from that. We tried to do something just to create a bit of fun on the server, and I'm dreading that I did, because I do wonder whether part of it is that big-headed streamer guy will show him, thinks he can fucking do whatever he wants and all the rest of it. But I haven't even made it back there, Dumpgraph. Fucking Banov is so big. I'm over on the northeastern side of the map at the moment. But from what I've been told, there's pretty much nothing left. And they uploaded a video, and that's where we could see them. They had fire. They turned barrels into fire barrels, and we're just burning it, and making comments like "burn, baby, burn," and showed them shooting the truck engine on the way out. And I was like, I don't understand that. But it is, as you said, it's a zero rule, or not zero, but a minimal ruled server, and people can do what they want. I just worry that, I kind of alluded to it and then got sidetracked, but I encourage people to try to think of the impact of what they do on the players around them. I know some people couldn't give a flying fuck about other players, but if you want to have a good server, you need to encourage other people to hang around. If you're just going to go on this massive rape and pillage spree across the map, destroying every single base, then you're going to destroy the player base and there's going to be no one left. What's floor shiting? Stop floor shiting for what you need it.
No idea.
No idea.
But I've only done the base wiping out thing on modded servers.
Sorry.
And the reason you wipe out a base on a modded server, now heavily modded I'm talking about, is ones with traders and stuff, is if you leave kind of anything, you want to basically have your enemy clan on their knees, because with modded servers they can pick up their storage and stuff, run to a trader and start buying stuff again, and slowly they can rebuild faster, by that way, because they help with traders and stuff. So if you on a modded server and they have a car outside and you don't shoot it or steal it, they can just take that trader, sell it, get tens of thousands of rubles for it, and then be geared within a matter of minutes again. So you try and take everything, dismantle as much as you can, and do it that way. On vanilla, it's a bit harsh, but if there's no rule against it, it's not the end of the world. I don't think it'll drive players away. It depends. If they become a toxic clan, then yes, it could, and then they might have to be slap on the wrist or whatever. But I don't know. It's a tricky one for vanilla servers. Now for modded, it's not as.
I think it would drive some people away, but in the end, you can't really blame the server for it, because if you take a look at the rules, you should clearly know what's up when you join the server. That's why it's so important to have basic rules, and so people know what's up and what they can expect and what not. And
people need to remember, at the end of the day, it is just pixels. I'm looking forward to rebuilding. I've already started placing a few stashes around the place. Dumpgrad was on with me earlier, and I placed one and couldn't remember where I'd fucking placed it. And I was like, I'll find it if I look hard enough and that. But that's going to be my way of doing it, because we built a second base and then that got hit, and every other faction that was involved in that raid with us got raided as well on the same night. So, it's just I don't want it to turn into, and maybe that's selfish of me. Everyone can play DayZ their own way, but I don't want it to turn into just this complete and utter anarchy, chaotic fucking. Anyone who puts a wall up has it burnt down and everything's fucking destroyed.
That's the risk of building the base, though, at the same time. You got to be prepared for that to happen. So you got to think and be smart of where you put your gear. Like, you don't put all your good gear at the very bottom floor, so 2 fences in and they're up.
Yeah.
You want your gear at the highest room you can possibly go, or, most fences to it and stuff.
Get a seed chest and bury it.
Raiding is brilliant. Raiding is brilliant. You learn so much. Because I've only just started dabbling in it. And becoming a good raider enables you to become a good base builder. Like those guys, they actually boosted each other up, probably jumping on top of each other, legitimate methods, I'm assuming. And they just crawled straight through the barbed wire that I'd put on top of a fence and bandaged on the other side. Barbed wire needs such a fucking buff. It needs to, it's one of the few ways to defend your own base. And it was disappointing to see that a fully metal wall with barbed wire on top of it, you can just crawl over the top of it.
See, any gap can be a gap you can get through in DayZ. So if there's a gap, you cover, you just wall and wall and
never
wall.
Used to be, though. It used to make you go uncon.
But that was, I think that was ages and ages ago. But yeah, any gap now, you just build, you cover it. Don't take the risk.
Dumpgrad.
Hey, mate.
See, the thing is, hey, bud. See, the thing is, of like, with raiding, you're all right. When you raid or you have a base, it is a learning experience every time. You learn from the mistakes you made, so you can work on it better for next time. But what ruins the fun for base building and raiding, and you get this with every server, no matter what kind of rule set you'll have, is you'll get that small minority who like I said before, the nerve will be really plucked, and then they'll decide to go on an absolute rampage. Now, how the players respond to it determines the future for the server in that regard. Now, they can either retaliate and be like, oh, well, if you're going to do that to us collectively, we're just going to fuck you over and then you'll leave the server, which I've seen happen. I've seen groups who have literally despised each other and they've joined forces because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
We've done that before on modded servers. We've literally raided people so hard that their clans have left. But that's that type of server. It's it's that type of server that
it's that kind of server. Nearly. But I've seen it happen where certain groups who it's happened to, they get raided, and then they decide, I'm going to fuck your entire base over. The entire base gets fucked over. They rebuild, and it keeps going on and on. They just keep continuously raiding this one particular pretty decent group. And then that good group is like, right, okay, if you want to play that game, they'll get in touch with other groups. They'll make a coalition or whatever. And then they drive this toxic group off the server by constantly raiding their base, camping the base at all fucking times or whatever. Like being as toxic as them, and then when they throw a shit fit because they can't get in trouble for it because they're doing exactly the same things they were doing before, then they'll leave, and that's what will happen. And or people just leave the server. The only people that are playing is the toxic group, and then it's like, well, there's no one here, and then they'll blame the staff team for the server, be like, your server fucking shit. Nobody, no worry, like no wonder everyone's left. Your server shit, and then they'll leave, and then the population will slowly grow back, and then it'll happen again. It's like the fuck. Just
that's exactly the reason why I run PvE servers, because I simply don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. And see, that's the thing. It's like people. Yes, people can play DayZ exactly however they want to, and the fact that people can constantly raid each other is part and parcel of the game. And if you want to completely burn everything down, that's also part and parcel of the game. You have the ability to do it. And as I say, if it's in the game, use it. So,
and some people just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
But it's also the satisfaction of like seeing your base, buddy, and your base was fucking massive. Too big, nearly. But it was like seeing that. It's like, right, it feels like an accomplishment when you burn this kingdom to the ground. You know what I mean? It's just nothing. Oh, it is kind of satisfying in a way. I know it's a harsh thing to say, but
Spud's got a good comment there. Really keen to see how the devs manage this when they give base building some love, which they have said they're going to do. Because I think Spud, with the tweaks that he made to it, found a pretty decent balance. Like, if you watch the VOD of our raid, and two people I'm going to be shouting out today, Midi and Prestige, are actually making videos from all the footage and combining it into an epic video. Prestige's one in particular is going to involve some of the goings on beforehand that led to and after the raid, whereas Midi's just focusing on the raid. But Spud made some really good tweaks that you've got to be prepared when you go in for these raids. Grenades aren't that common, and they make it easier. But then it came down to you having to use bullets. Yeah, Smoky Cowboy, you've summed it up quite well there. I'm on very different communities on console, PS4, and I think like most of you lads have spoken, but unfortunately there's toxic people in the world and they influence weaker-minded people, and it happens. So it's going to happen. It'll continue to happen. It's just, for me, Zyson made all the tweaks on DDU. That's awesome. But
if you...
I was going to state that
if
there's
you
a
have
clear difference between resource denial on a raid and griefing. Resource denial is taking people's items like they did to you, Boydie, and burning them. That is a form of resource denial. It takes time to make the campfire. It takes time to take all the items and put them in there. What is griefing is if they took all your items and put it in a truck and then shot it to hell to despawn hundreds and hundreds of spaces of inventory in a second. That is griefing, not resource denial, because you're abusing an in-game mechanic to achieve a desired effect with little to no effort. Also, dropping a bunch of people's items on the ground just to pack the tent, and then you throw the tent on the ground and then walk away, that's also griefing, because technically you're actually not helping the server at all. You're not really helping yourself at all, nor are you helping the server. Actually, you're probably hurting the server for all those thousands of items being on the ground. But if you were to burn all those items or individually shoot all those items or even like put a grenade to blow them all up and ruin them, you're actually using in-game mechanics to actually resource deny. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
Same thing with loot cycling, which was a thing last week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, the beauty of this server, it's almost a bit of a psychological experiment. We're seeing how people react on a community moderated server, lightly moderated. And you guys are going to get to see that, because something else I want to shout out is Anarchy servers. Mark, you've been on them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has a Heroes Haven Light, it's called. It's literally vanilla with some quality of life things. He's gotten rid of the weight, the weight you have when you take an item. In game, that weight is gone, so it's just permanent, but the stamina is still there and stuff. All vanilla guns, no modded weapons, no modded armor, nothing like that, all vanilla. Vanilla base building is going to be on that as well. He is adding Dumpgrass, fortifying thing, and even more doors. So it's going to be interesting to see in a couple of weeks when people build up bases what the raiding situation is going to be like in that. Oh, and I'll be raiding somewhere, right? I just have to start hoarding grenades.
So it's very DayZ Down Under. You guys hear me talk about it a lot, but most of you can't get to play on it because of the ping to Australia. So it's going to be a similar style of lightly moderated, vanilla-esque server with some quality of life modifications done to it that we wish DayZ had. So I'm excited to see what happens with the Heroes Haven Light servers.
Yeah, that'll be good to see.
Something else I want to give a quick sneak peek of. You guys got to see the whole thing beforehand, but let me just find the message. Please go and subscribe to Vigilante Gamer. He has done a video that I will play the intro of, because it should be enough to capture people's interests. Vigilante Gamer is one of the best tactical minds in DayZ, and this is his draft. He sent it through to me to have a look at, but let me just...
How about you give up one of your guys?
It's not working.
And drive there.
You guys are following us in the convoy.
Okay, right.
Yeah, we're all that's part of the. You've probably never done anything as stupid as this before, but part of the.
I'm going to talk to you here. Can you hear me?
Allure of tonight.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't show you in game, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I'm interested in how people can organise themselves to achieve things and run more complex operations in DayZ. It's proven to be really difficult, very challenging, much like herding cats.
And I'm going to leave it there. You'll have to wait for the rest of the video to come out. But yeah, it's an amazing video. You got to listen to it, Marks. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it was a good video, Archie. Not bad.
Yeah. He breaks down, we had 23 people in that event, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And you could hear the chaos just even in the Discord then. I'm trying to talk to people in game. I've got people in Discord talking over me. For those who are interested in that sort of stuff, yeah, you might find that quite interesting. So Vigilante Gamer. Yes?
If, buddy, you ever do another one of them in the future, don't know if you will or not, and you like set it up a few days in advance or something like that, leave me know, because I would be, even on high ping, I would be very interested to join in on something like that.
Yep.
Really think it would be an interesting video. So definitely hit me up. I would be.
Mate, I've been trying to get you to come and play with me for fucking ages on this server.
I know, yeah, it's the ping and then everything, but one day it will happen.
There's Vigilante's channel for everyone. He's an amazing mind. I'm really excited for that video to be released, and also the follow-up ones by people much more talented than I am. You guys, got anything you want to shout out?
You go first, lad. If you have anything.
I do want to give another shout out to the XTK team. Like I said, I'm not part of the project anymore.
Can we ask why?
That I don't want to go public with that.
Okay.
But yeah, so they've went, they've gone into beta finally. Really, really happy to see it happening. I also want to shout out I want to shout out obviously Namask, Sumrak. Definitely if you haven't yet, which I mean, to be fair, everybody here has probably fucking played Namask. If you haven't, please do it. Check out as much Namask content.
How fucking heartless of you to all those console players out there. That's such a heartless thing. You are such an asshole.
I do want to give out. I do want to give a little bit of a shout out. Yeah, I mean, to Ike, he has been absolutely phenomenal, and he's been a bit of a dickhead, and honestly, couldn't ask any better from him at all.
Never change. Never change, Ike.
Never change. But I think the biggest shout out I want to give out is just to you guys. Like, you're fucking absolutely killing it. And like, I wasn't there last weekend, and I'm sorry. I did initially plan on coming on, but after the stream ended, I slept for 24 hours.
See, next time, if you ever end up doing something like that again, next time you need to tie in the end of it with the start of the podcast.
I was going to do that. But I when I started the stream, which in case anybody doesn't know, I done a 24-hour live stream last weekend because I'm a fucking idiot, and and it went out pretty well actually. I had 180 people watching it at some point because Sumrak and Gecko they raided me, which is absolutely lovely. Check out Gecko's content, by the way, guys. He's really, really fucking cool. And I had people actually support us at the end. There was quite a few. Sawyer was there. Melbourne was there, I think. There was, from just the top of my head. It was fucking great. It was really cool. And I was going to stream yesterday, but like I said, I didn't get home until today. So, whoops. You can probably see like the dark patches under my eyes. My eyes are burning. I'm that tired right now. But, just to you, like I said, the biggest shout out is to everybody here on the podcast. And as well as yourself, RaG. Like the mods you've been creating, I've been watching what you've been doing on the Modders Discord, and it's been absolutely fucking fantastic. Like, always amazed at what you produce. Like, seriously, like, I wish I could do vehicles. I really wish I could, because I've got some fucking ideas. But
it's actually not too hard. You just need a lot of patience. And whiskey sometimes.
No, I'm not such an alcoholic. No, not for a while. Not until New Year's. But yeah, it's like, you've all been absolutely fucking killing it. And roll on the Christmas episode. That's December the 17th, isn't it?
December 18th. Yep.
Right, yes.
Probably a good time, actually, to recap. Lots and lots of giveaways, folks. Stuff that we've had donated, stuff that I'm buying for it. There'll be shirts, hats, that sort of stuff throughout the night as well, just in chat. I'm not going to add them to the wheel. I'm just going to leave the big stuff to the wheel. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Is there a time? What's the official time when that's starting?
Same time as always, 2000 UTC.
Wow, okay, it's going to be... Is it the same length short, or is it going to go on really long? Or is there...
Don't know.
Tell us what's happening. Okay, we don't know. Okay.
Don't know. We'll see how the night goes. It won't be as big as last year's one because we're not doing an award show. That was a mistake. It's just going to be a highlight of the year. I've got to hit up Don Sibley again to do his recap video that he did last year for us. And
talk about his TikTok success.
Oh my fucking God.
Need to have him on.
Try and get a lot of guests on. It's just going to be a really casual, just a celebration of the year that was until we start again in the new year with Katie Wolf as our first guest. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Fun.
Really looking forward to it. Marks, anything you want to shout out, mate?
I'll just shout out the two mods that I've showcased recently, the Raft mod and the building reinforcements or fortifications mod. That's what it's called. Two very, very good, simple mods, and they've been very, very popular. I know the Raft mod got an update, as we spoke about earlier on the podcast already. I know Dunkgrav's working on, he's going to be adding a lot more stuff to the fortification one in the weeks and to come. It's going to be all great. Check them all out. They're really, really good. Very simple to use, which is always great. And that's pretty much it.
Rag, you, mate? Anything you'd like to shout out, buddy?
I would have so many people to shout out, but...
Do it. Go for it. This is your time in the spotlight, buddy. Go for it. I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank...
First I would say Luca for just being an awesome person.
Yep.
For making Kimsey and the Raft mod and helping me with so much stuff. I think the usual suspects like Hunter C, MDC, Dumpgra, Iceblade, a lot more people I might forget. I'm sorry, I love you all. And of course, the Ragnar community for just being absolutely awesome. Players and admins, feels like a big family, and I'm really proud of it.
Awesome.
Fucking lovely, man. Absolutely lovely.
I want to do one final shout out, and I'm going to share my screen for this one. Earlier yesterday, I think it was, I was a little bit down. I made a post basically saying that I'm just sick of all the fucking negativity, and it was partly tied in with what I discussed about what happened on the DayZ Down Under, and then you go to Twitter and you see people fucking cancelling each other and everything like that. And I was just having one of those down days where I was like fucking just getting ready to explode, getting sick of it all. And we've had a lot of rain here in Brisbane in Queensland, and we finally have had a bit of a break in the rain, and I went out and I whipper stripped the backyard and got the mower out, and then stopped and had a break because it was fucking stinking hot, and I'm a fat fuck, so I was sweating like a bitch on heat. Geez, I swear a lot, don't I? But
yes.
Yeah, so I sat down at my table with a cold drink and got the iPad out and started reading comments. I like to try to respond at least heart, or try to read everything. And I came across 3 comments from Benjamin Bissett. Ben, I don't know whether you're watching, mate, but honest to God, mate, you fucking... What you said, just... the little... Where I'm going with this is, don't be afraid to leave comments on a video, folks, because... whether they're bad ones, Mark's is always going on about all the troll comments he gets, but when you get those nice comments, Mark's, it makes it can make your day, can't it?
Oh yeah, it can, 100%.
Yeah, he had 3 of them in a row, and he was commenting on the spotlight on JLK, but saying that he's obviously come leaps and bounds since this. He's only gotten bigger, so good on him for moving forward. And I'll add this, Boyd, you're a true gem in the DayZ community. For a true fan of DayZ, you are the content creator. I also prefer you with a beard, mate. The smile that gave me, then his next one where he admitted that he'd done something and that he feels better for admitting it. And at the end there with the, for those who watched the spotlight on JLK, I've had a few people commented on it. I gave him a full dad mode speech at the end. And, you know, giving him the dad speech at the end was class, mate. And it made my fucking day. Just made my day. And, you know, I put a tweet out just saying thank you. I mentioned another guy who's in chat at the moment, Luke, as well. You know, he always comments on every single video. Just leave comments
on all mine as well.
This doesn't just go to YouTube videos. This goes to, if there's a mod, you know, you said it before, Rag. If there's a Tyson, if there's a mod that you love, go and leave a comment and let the modder know. You know, not a lot of people do. 9 out of 10 comments on a fucking mod is fix your fucking mod. Fix that, fix this. Leave a comment in there and just go, thank you for this. I love what it's done. It's changed DayZ. It's reinvigorated DayZ. Whatever. Leave something nice for someone. It doesn't cost you a fucking cent, bar a bit of your time. And you never know the mindset. Like, I was really fucking down yesterday. It was one of those where, you know, I was like, why do I fucking bother? You know, trying to do nice things and all the rest of it. And then just a little comment from someone totally changed my mindset. And yeah.
Absolutely.
Go and do it. Go find a mod, find something and leave a comment and, you know, just, try to spread some positivity. There's enough toxic, negative people out there that, you know, it can be disheartening. Social media is a very overwhelming thing. And sometimes you just need to step away from it. Unfortunately, I'm kind of addicted to it, but for better or worse, it is what it is.
You know, the best thing to do is when you get sick of social media and all that and take a break, go camping, turn your phone off, so outside, just even get outside, be in nature for a while. It does wonders what being in nature will do for your mind.
Yep. Gents, thank you all so much. Chat, welcome. Thank you all so much for staying here for the last 3 or so hours that we've been going for. Tyson, I'm looking forward to what you come up with next, mate. You're truly thinking outside the box with some things, mate. You know, the Beehive mod, the Raft, amazing work, mate. I think your Raft mod is going to go really well on Deer Isle as well.
Yeah. Appreciate the invite. Thank you.
No, it's our pleasure, mate. It's our pleasure. Next week's guest, ladies and gentlemen, off memory, it is the one, the only Deathbringer TV. I've been following him quite closely, and he's got a unique kind of style. And I've reached out to him, and he's agreed to come on. He's done some pretty cool shit, folks. So, yep, it is Deathbringer. So I'm looking forward to that one. We'll do a tweet during the week to promote him and all the rest of it. But yeah, Lad, Marks, thanks once again, folks.
Pleasure as always.
Pleasure.
Tyson, all the best with the future, mate.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next week, the same time, same channels, for the DayZ Podcast, episode 89 is next week. Getting close to 100. Getting close to 100.
Gonna be great. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, we'll have to do something big for that as well. But yeah.
Yes.
All the best, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Yep. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Ciao for now.